with me.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry. Can we go for the meeting now, Chief?
Better.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
If you hear a bomb explosion or gunshots of an active shooter, that might be a terror attack. At such times, always remember 3 action words: run, hide, report. Don't try to run towards the terror scene to save the situation, because there might be a second bomb blast or another attack. Run far away and take cover. Make sure you are safe first. Yes, it is in our nature to sympathize over the hurt, but remember, only trained personnel can help in such situations. When in a secured environment, promptly call relevant authorities and help will come. For anonymous reporting, call 09630-3250-5 or 0813-2222-106. If you see something, say something. Nigeria, unite against terrorism. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
This is the network service of the NTA.
An hour is and so says Benjamin Franklin. And he endears himself to us with so many lifestyle quotes, things that we can learn from, we can imbibe, and we can inculcate in others. I used to think they were called accidents. I've come to learn that they are called crashes. For every one of us who's watching today, either from our nuclear family or from our extended family, or even we ourselves have experienced and been impacted by what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about road crashes. Yes, they are not called accidents. They are called road crashes. They happen. Why did they happen? I've come to learn that oftentimes, if we prepare well, if we are careful, not careless, if we are organized, if we take that 1 minute to prepare, we end that 1 hour or more in organization, your vehicle is ready for movement. And remember what they taught us at the driving school, that when you get on the road, imagine that every other person is not in their right mind. Welcome, it's wellness and living. And our topic today is road crashes. My name is Thelma Obaze. Yes, it touched my mind because as I was going to work recently, I saw someone driving very, very fast. And guess what? By the time I got to the junction, there had been a ghastly crash. From what we have come to learn, road crashes have been reducing gradually. But what more can we do to ensure that our roads are more safe than they are now?
Drivers at times are at fault by taking drugs and drinks, and also not maintaining their vehicles, like brake. At times, the pedestrians also at fault. They cross where they're supposed not to cross. Where the government spend a lot of money in building bridges or flyover, people supposed to cross there, people don't cross. So that's the thing.
We all contribute to these road crashes and road accidents. If there is no pedestrian bridge, people will just...
government is so decisive to the extent that when you are being caught, actually called on phone, pay 50,000, pay 100,000. That is stopped. Thirdly, the nature of our road. The way our roads are being constructed is one of these reasons why we're having accidents.
So many drivers in Nigeria, they don't often go to driving school. They just learn from one place and they embark on a journey or on the road.
We start from bad road, plenty of bad road, and most drivers, in an attempt to meander bad potholes, they run into accidents and all that. And that's also a major. So government needs to work on bad road, put structures, the road in place. Again, the impatience of drivers overspeed most of the times. And in an attempt, some run up to 200, and that could cause accident, because at the point when they are supposed to, slow down, they discover that they can't manage the steering. That is also another major cause of it.
Government should enforce that those places they build the flyovers, that people should not cross there without using it. Then also, they compel people to service their vehicles and make the parts available. Things are very hard, so that people can change their vehicle from time to time.
I'm more careful because not everyone you see crossing the road is actually mentally balanced. So you should be very careful when driving as well.
Carelessness, they say, does more harm than a want of knowledge. I picked that one once again from the stable of Benjamin Franklin. And I attribute that to the fact that sometimes when we're careless, we do more harm to ourselves. Talking about road crashes, is carelessness playing an integral part in the causes of road crashes? What are the common causes of road crashes? What have we come to learn as we have been experiencing driving on the roads of our great country, Nigeria? There's a group of people who are tasked with managing our roads and its users. We call them the Federal Road Safety Corps. We sought to speak with the Corps Marshal, who's at the helm of affairs there, to know more about road crashes.
A crash cannot be said to be a sudden occurrence if all the preventive factors are taken into consideration. It is a pure case of negligence that results in crashes and injuries, and these are preventable. Crashes has three principal factors: the driver, the road, and the environment. Driver accounts for 82% of the major factors of the crashes. So if you look at that, and the road, and the remaining is about 18%. So the road and the environment accounts for the remaining. For example, if the condition of the road is bad, I expect drivers to use what we call the common sense speed limit. If the environment is bad, for example, let me try with dry season, if the temperature is very high, the pressure of the tires, the pressure increases. One of the key causes has to do with distractions. That's what people don't understand. Even merely chatting with your passengers is distractive in driving. Driving requires full concentration. We are talking about life, spanning of life. If you are chatting, you are unable to concentrate fully. You want to overtake. Your sense of direction does not give you the proper view of the distance and the speed of your vehicle. Your sense of judgment fails you. That's one. Then you are trying to change the CD, or some vehicles still have cassettes, or some vehicles tuning radios, or trying to fix the phone. Sometimes some people connect their phones with the smartphones now to the vehicle to be playing music. Then it becomes, by the time you raise it up, you are close. And if you're on that speed, it's not the moment you slam the brake that the vehicle stops. You suddenly apply the brake momentarily like that, the vehicle can somersault. The crashes we're talking about can make or mar the life of human beings. The pressure on the road is too much. So that is why we also advocate for intermodal transportation, effective intermodal transportation system. Do you know that the way we drive in urban areas is different from the way you drive on the highways? That is why during festive periods, more private vehicles are involved in crashes. They will tell you that I've been driving for 30 years, driving school run from the house to school, to the office, from the house to the church, back, is different from driving from here to Lokoja to Okene. If a vehicle is not maintained, it becomes rickety. The glass is broken, you don't fix it, we are using super glue. The wiper is not good. One wiper is not good, you are managing the other, the rain is falling, you are using your hand like this. You know, these are the things that will shorten your lifespan. That's why you are doing it, you are using one hand, you are not seeing well. Why won't you crash? You know, a new vehicle, if it's not properly maintained, in 6 months, it can be off. And a vehicle properly maintained can last X number of years. There are machines. You change the tires, the headlamps are bad, you fix them. It is not safe. It is not when you want to travel that you go and service the vehicle. It's always counterproductive. If you want to travel on Saturday, by Monday, take your vehicle to a standard workshop. Let them check everything for you. And then the service will be done. Why? Why do you do that? Not a day before or same day. In the process, some mechanics, some artisans don't tighten the oil cover very well. It splashes. Or the dipstick alone is not properly replaced well. Or maybe the fuel filter is not properly tightened. If you hit the road and you know you are going on a speed of, say, maximum 100 kilometers, like that, the oil will just splash, the vehicle will knock. But if you service it some days earlier, there's such a problem when you are doing your vehicle check. I will call it the drill in the morning. You will have seen it. But to just finish servicing the vehicle and you hit the road, there's a problem. That's why it's always advisable, do the servicing some days before, still run it in urban. And what we call the cockpit drill in aviation, the same thing applies to vehicles. The first thing when you enter your vehicle is, first of all, look at your mirrors. You have 3 mirrors, the inner mirror, the 2 side mirrors, the right one and the left one. Those are the first things you're supposed to look at first. Then you don't start the vehicle immediately. You switch it on. You allow the readings. You check all the readings. In the process, you allow the oil to circulate. Okay? Let me tell you why. It's like you wake up and you start running. You know you collapse because your blood system has not fully circulated. The same thing with vehicles. So that's why when you switch on the engine, you don't start it immediately. You switch it on, let all the indicators come up. When it comes up, you have checked the water level, the fuel level, the oil level, the pressure and everything. Then you start it. Let it run. And if you observe, if you start the engine of a car, the speed is a bit high, slightly. But after some time, it drops. When it drops means the oil has circulated. And the part of the drill is this. When it's running by itself, you disembark, you check the tire. You check the tire, you check your lighting system. You want to travel, your brake lights, your rear lights. You check your spare tire, your warning signs. Make sure the pressure of the PSI of the vehicles are okay. And make sure every other thing. And when you are driving, once in a while, be checking your dashboard, especially the temperature. If the temperature is rising, that means something is wrong with your cooling system. So if you don't check, the next thing, you just see all the lights will just come up, the engine will go up.
You know, when car crashes occur, whether you are at fault or not, If you come upon it, it's in our best interest and those of the victims to perform first aid anyhow we can do it, okay? And sometimes just keeping somebody company gives them strength up until the appropriate medical professionals come on the scene. I'm talking about when we have road crashes. We sought to talk with Dr. Abu. He has experience in the wards. He's dealt with victims of car crashes, and he will throw more light on what happens before, during, and after.
When you approach a crash site, what should ring at the back of your mind is safety. Safety for yourself first, because we've had situations where people who approached accident sites were knocked by other cars that were passing by. So if anybody, any bystander who has the ethical responsibility and decides to intervene has to survey the area and confirm that there is no immediate threat. If the car or the person he is about to save is in the middle of the road, it would be nice to move the person as safe as possible to a site that is not accessed either by oncoming cars or other threats. It would also be necessary to assess the situation using your basic common sense. If you see any form of threat like fire, or there's some fumes or gas, or there's a smell you don't understand, you need also to take extra precaution. If there's fire, you may need to put it off by using sand. If the person who is involved in the crash is still entrapped, you may need to find a safe way of extracting the person or extricating the person. If the person is held back by maybe car airbags, you may need to bust those airbags carefully. If he's held by the seat belt and is unconscious, unable to come out, you may need to use a sharp object. So most times the road safety will talk about putting blades somewhere around the car. So those sharp objects to cut those seat belts which are holding back the victim, it would be very, very useful. A very critical component of immediate care anybody can give is to move the victim from any threat to a safe place. It is always better to move the patient or the victim to a safe place than to leave the person in a cramped place where there's further risk of threat. But if you do not have the capacity or the knowledge to move the person safely, you may be better still to allow the person there and call for help from somebody who may have the idea. But in the absence of that, it may still make more sense to move the person to safety. It's usually better that we have a very functional emergency medical system that allows the emergency team to prompt the hospital that, well, we are probably bringing in an emergency from crash victims, so that the hospital team is already aware and prepared to receive these crash victims. In the absence of that, obviously, you would probably just use what is available. So upon presentation in the emergency department, it's important that the emergency team that has brought the victim communicates with the people properly, give them complete information, site information, complications that were seen, and challenges that were expected, and to transfer the triage information from the site to the team in the hospital, to tell the team in the hospital which of the patients were found and their conditions and which one may be in more danger. This will allow the team in the hospital to do a fast assessment and also retriage the patients that are coming in to offer optimal care. So in terms of immediate intervention, patients, the kind of patients who present in the hospital after a crash may be classified in several ways. Well, what is important is that some of them may be very bad, obviously very bad. Some of them may not appear to be very bad, or may suddenly degenerate. Again, some of them will come in and you probably would not need to do much for them, just stabilize and ask them to go home. It's important that in as much as we do not pray for crashes, we need to be well prepared so that in case these things do happen, we are able to pass through the phases of recovery better. So one important thing from the medical point of view is that you need to maintain the highest level of health achievable at all points in time, because it's been shown that people who have better health indices are more likely to recover from whatever health challenges they may experience, even if they had road traffic accidents. So patients who have had crashes and have had fractures and all that, but who were prior to them physically fit, are more likely to return to that functional level. So it's important that at this point in time we should all try to maintain the best and the highest form of lifestyle in eating right, exercising right.
For your best interest, your thoughts better be good, because you become what you think about. Florence Sheen puts it this way. She says, life is a game of boomerangs. She says our thoughts, our words, and our deeds come to us in this circle of life with outstanding accuracy. Isn't that wonderful? I want to say that if we have positive thoughts, more often than not, we will perform positive deeds, and most importantly, we will have positive results. What are your positive thoughts? Whether you've been in a crash or not, it is in your best healthy interest to work those limbs. Energize your body. Keep your muscles strong. Improve your stamina. Improve your strength. Work on your endurance, okay? It will come into play either as somebody who's performing first aid, or sometimes when you need to make a run for it. Would you spend 5 minutes working out with us?
Okay, I'm working out with someone that does her workout. At least 2-3 times a week she's doing her workout. So there's no particular body part that has atrophied or that is stiff, okay? We'll do some jumping jacks in between, we'll do some knee lifts and knee raises, and then continue doing our jumping and our jacks, okay? So we start with 10 jumping jacks, we break it with 3 knee raises, and then we continue again with 5 more. We wrap up one set that way. Okay, so let's start. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So knee raises. 1, come on, 2, 3. Jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. One set is done. So shake your body. Shake your body. At the count of 10, we continue again. The same thing. This time we do the knee raises on the left hand to right knee. Okay, so 10 jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's go knee raises. 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, check it out. That's 2 sets done. And then the third set, at the count of 10, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Back to left hand, right knee. 2, 3. Continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's it. Okay, we've done 3 repetitions of one exercise. Oh, 1, 2, back. 1, 2. We pause. Coming forward again. 1, 2. 1, 2, we pause. 1, 2, 1, 2, we pause. 1, we come back, we come again. That's what exercise should be. having fun with friends and with family. There's no hard and fast rule to staying fit, okay? Just make it regular, okay? Make it fun, make it participatory, okay?
I pay particular attention to the words of Marilyn Monroe. She says sometimes things fall apart so they can fall together again for good. I know many of us have had some negative experiences in our life's journey. Some of us have been involved in road crashes and suffered a negative impact for no fault of ours, either as commercial drivers, either as drivers and owners of private vehicles, or sometimes even as pedestrians, or things have impacted family members or friends from far and from near. But we're here today. That tells us that the journey is still on and we need to continue to make positive impact everywhere we find ourselves. We're learning today that there are measures we can take to mitigate crashes on our roads. If we already know everything we have mentioned today on the program, we can remember to share it with all those around us. Tell your children, tell your neighbors, tell people you meet on the streets, you know. One for all and all for one. Let us work together as a great country that we know ourselves to be with that never say die attitude to improve our life's quality. Reduce road crashes. It's in everyone's best healthy interest to do so. It's been a pleasure spending time with you. I love to do this. I want to go now and prepare so that next time we meet again, we're talking about something that can have an even more positive impact on us, our friends, and our families. My name is Thelma Obaze. Do remember to join us on our social media handle, Wellness and Living at Nigerian Television Authority. For now, it's bye-bye.
And the program you're watching is Sports Real. Keep a date with us.
Fans, they don't understand the rules or the laws of the game.
Hello and welcome to that program of yours on the NTA Sports channel, Knowing Golf.
And thanks for joining us on another edition of Sports Guests on the NTA. My name is Kenem Emma Abodike. Welcome indeed to Saturday Sports Arena on the NTA Sports 24.
It would not be if you continue to just have these vague means of saying these are the yardsticks I want to use.
League Service, a program designed to bring you up to speed with happenings in Nigerian football leagues.
yadda za a samu cikakken ci gaba saboda haka
ẹni ọ̀wọ̀ Nicholas Ogbon ó ní ó yẹ kí àwọn ènìyàn súnmọ́ Ọlọ́run kí á sì máa.
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
This is the network service.
It be like say they want to tell us another story again, yo. Now so, you know, say people they say I be superstar. But for me, the real superstars are those people where they go vote for the candidate of their choice without violence. So for these upcoming elections, be my superstar. Vote, no fights, no violence, because the election will be won.
We work together so the future will be brighter.
So that's great. That's diversification. We need to diversify the health system. So that's great. That's diversification. We need to diversify the health system. Nature also gives you the economic importance of the trees. We are talking of job and wealth creation. In nature's pharmacy, we look at those foods that could be medicine and how to take them and how to use them to be able to take care of our organs and our health in general. God has provided us these things, but we need to understand how do we use them for the benefit of our health. In today's episode, we are looking at that important organ. The organ which we know currently there seems to be an increase we need to use to keep ourselves healthy, particularly in today's episode, focusing on the kidney. How do we use these remedial agents? I am Zainab Sharif. Let's take a break. Nature also gives you the economic importance of the trees. We are talking of job and wealth creation. We are looking at the care of the kidneys, that organ that is very important to our health.
The kidneys is known as the kidney bean-shaped organ. That is the shape like a bean. That means kidney beans is good for the kidneys. There is a pair of the kidney, and the kidney forms part of the urinary tract system, which is made up of what we call the bladder, the urethra, and the ureters. The kidney is the organ in the body that forms part of the detoxifying organs. That means the kidney removes waste and poisonous substances from the body. That kidney is the organ that controls the removal of water from the system. The kidney is the organ that balances the liquid salts in the body. You can see that the importance of kidney can never be overemphasized. When we have excess fluid in the body, edema, just to mention, that means we need to look at the kidney. Having said just some of the functions of the kidney, very commonly, we have the diuresis, which is a disease when you cannot be able to remove waste from the body and water cannot go out of your body. Nephritis, that is often called the kidney disease. We have the failure kidney failure, which is very common, cancer of the kidney, chronic kidney diseases, just to mention some of the diseases of the kidney. How do we need to understand that there are diseases of the kidney before we can take care of our kidney? Do we need to have the diseases? But nature has given to you what you need to feed the kidney, what you need to give to the kidney. Very chilly, chronic back pain, nausea, vomiting, lower abdominal pain. Don't forget I said that the kidney is situated in the posterior part of the abdomen. So when you have that serious abdominal pain, especially where the kidney is located, these are some of the symptoms of kidney diseases. That means when we have these symptoms, there will be increased toxins in the blood. There will be increase in secretion of things like excess protein in form of urea. You find that most people that go for dialysis, they tend to have increase in urea, increase in uric acid. These are some of the things that increases the problem of kidney diseases, because all these wastes that kidney used to remove is now being excreted and transported in the blood. This is what forms major causes of kidney failure. Having said that, the kidney, the diseases of the kidney, the symptoms of these diseases, the secretion of potassium, these are also good for the kidney. And there are plants that increase the removal of uric acid, which is responsible for gout or arthritis. These plants help to take care of the kidney and prevent some of those diseases. What are those plants? What has nature given to us? I'm sure you will say, in nature's pharmacy, we tend to repeat those plants. Yes, because the organs are connected. The kidney cannot do without the liver, nor the heart, nor the gastrointestinal tract. Hence, the relationship in the plants that can be used in management of such organs or in feeding of such organs. The diuretic plants, like I said, feed the kidney. Some of these diuretic plants are what you see here today. The celery is a diuretic plant. The parsley is a diuretic plant. Moringa is a diuretic plant. Beetroot, which looks like the kidney. These are all diuretic plants. That means these plants feed the kidney. They take care of the kidney. So nature has given to you these plants to use them in managing your kidney. Corn silk causes increase in secretion of sodium, and they are rich in potassium. Apple is one of them. Carrot is rich in potassium. The onions is rich in potassium. Turmeric is rich in potassium. When you take these plants, or when you take these medicinal plants, they tend to release and cause removal of potassium. That means plants that are rich in potassium are very good in the management of diabetes and hypertension. Let's come back. This plant is the bitter garden egg leaf. The bitter garden egg leaf is very good for flushing the kidneys. A combination of the bitter garden egg with the carrot, the ginger, and moringa is very good in the flushing of the kidney. Let's look at very affordable, readily available. This food is kidney food. Especially when you remove the bark, this is the bark. When crushed and added with boiling water, with a touch of lemon and honey, is an excellent diuretic for the kidney. When you give the kidney the plants that are good for it, it strengthens the activity of the kidney and strengthens the functions of the kidney and prevent diseases that could be responsible for the current increase in kidney disease. That is why when you want to look at those herbal medicine, get the experts to tell you the right plants to use, because some of those plants too, when taken wrongly, are also responsible for kidney diseases. Let us come down and look at, this is honey and this is apple cider vinegar. When you take a tablespoonful of pure honey and a teaspoonful of apple cider vinegar, mix together, taken 2 to 3 times daily, is an excellent recipe for the kidney. Let us look at some of those plants that are dried form. This is the lemongrass. This is the hibiscus sabderiva, the common zobo, the cloves, the ginger. A tisane of this, that means boiled as tea, taken 2 to 3 times daily, flushes the kidney. The parsley plant. When you take a quantity of parsley plant, like 5 strands, boil it in a teacup of milk. It has an excellent flusher and nourisher for the kidney. A combination of the parsley and milk, boiled, simmer gently, and taken, is a flusher to the kidney. The corn silk, like I've mentioned, is food for the kidney. But when you have a kidney, you need to take extra care of kidney by feeding it with the right nutrients. The nutrients that will be able to strengthen the activity of the kidney and enrich its performance and prevent the diseases. Garlic. When you take garlic with celery and lemon, a tisane, you blend this. You take a quarter size and blend it and mix it with the garlic with a glass of clean water. That juice is called live juice. It feeds the kidney. The importance of the use of medicinal plants in the management of preventing kidney diseases can never be overemphasized. But when you now have the chronic kidney diseases, there is a need for the experts to manage you. Let's take a break. Let's take a break. We talked about the importance of the kidney as one of the detoxifying organs. As I recall that there are 5 main detoxifying organs. We have talked of the liver as one of the detoxifying organs, the kidney, the GIT, the lungs, and the skin. These are organs that are very important in the removal of wastes from the system and also in preventing diseases. Apart from all the plants we have talked about, we have shown there are other plants too or other foods that feed the kidney. Let's look at the carbohydrates, the whole grain foods that we talk about, the soya beans, the lentils, the pulses, the cruciferous vegetables. All these are foods that are also good for the kidney. We do not need to remove the husk. We need at times to leave the husk so that these can be able to provide the kidney with the nutrients that it needs to function very effectively. The increasing rate of kidney disease is of concern. That is why we have talked about what we do need to prevent kidney disease. It is very important that we go to the expert who can be able to manage these kidney diseases. Because in the management of kidney diseases, there are some factors that you need to consider. There is a tendency for you to control the intake of fluid, because one of the symptoms of kidney diseases is the retention of fluid. That means you may not be able to take fluid in high amount. Even some plants, you may be restricted to eat some plants that have tendencies of having high potassium content. Like I have mentioned, the apples, the bananas, the carrots, there may be need for consideration in eating those fruits and vegetables when you have chronic diseases of the kidney. Let us come back and say, what tips can we look at that we can give in the management or in preventing the kidney diseases? What nature has given to us that we can be able to prepare either in form of tisane or life juice, like I said, to be able to give us the phytonutrients, the nourishments that we need, the antioxidant property in the management and taking care of our kidneys. I've just made a tisane. This is a tisane made of plants that have diuretic effects. Some of the plants I have mentioned. I am going to give my kidney this preparation of a tisane made from the combination of the hibiscus, the zobo, the peppermint leaves, the lemon leaves, the ginger. These are diuretic plants that can be given or that can be taken 2 to 3 times daily to nourish and feed the kidney. Very cost effective, available in the market. I want to take, for extra benefits, you could add a teaspoonful of honey and few drops of lemon to give you a nice taste. That's a good one for my kidney. Nature's Pharmacy should give you some tips that you can be able to use in your homes in trying to feed and take care of your kidneys. The beetroot. We need a quarter size of this beetroot. That means cutting it into 4 parts, taking 1 part, wash and chop, and then this strand of celery, a strand of celery like this, chop, nicely washed, and about 3 strands of parsley, 3 strands of parsley, washed and chopped, a piece of ginger, washed and chopped, combine together and blend with 2 glasses of clean water, best bottled water. When you blend this, like I have given you, once again, a quarter size of the beetroot, 1 strand of the celery, 3 strands of the parsley, a piece of ginger, blended with 2 glasses of water, and then sieve to get the freshly prepared life juice, green juice. You can feed the kidney. This can be done 2 to 3 times a week as a flusher. Another recipe, like I have said earlier on, you crush about these 2 medium sizes of the watermelon bark, crush, pour in a teacup of boiling water on the crushed watermelon bark, a touch of lemon and honey for extra benefits. This can be drunk 2 to 3 times daily as desired. Flusher to the kidney. This is the leaf of the bitter garden egg. About 5 leaves of bitter garden egg with 5 leaves of bitter garden egg, some quantity of Moringa oleifera, 5 leaves of bitter garden egg, quantity of Moringa oleifera, 2 medium-sized carrot, this medium-sized garden egg, a piece of ginger, chopped finely, can just be taken straight like that as fresh vegetable, or you can make the juice with 2 glasses of water, clean water. Make the juice, freshly prepared juice can be taken. You can also take the leaf, chew it as it is. The bitter garden egg leaf, which is commonly found in the southeast, is an excellent rich food for the kidney. The use should be emphasized as it improves the quality of the kidney. We need to take care of our kidney. We need to understand the functions of our kidney. Avoid those alcohol, avoid those smoking. And the use of these hard drugs are not suitable for the kidney, because when you do that, you will overtax the kidney with chemicals. Those bleaching ingredients are also harmful to the kidney. They could go through the skin and go onto the kidney to cause more damage. Nature's Pharmacy has been able to analyze the importance of the kidney. I'm looking forward to inform you the medicinal plants that feeds the kidney. Green Pharmacy, using what God has given to us. Around us, available. Paracelsus, your meadows and your pastures shall be your pharmacy. The 16th century great scientist. Thank you. Until next episode.
You're welcome to Corruption, the musical. This one in a corruption song. This one in a corruption song. Yeah. This one in a corruption song. This one in a corruption song. No be about government people. This one now for everyday people. Yeah. No job, yeah. You go look for left, you go look for right. Even though you're qualified, then carry the job, give them family. Now conny. You say where man they work. Now the man go chop. So you take food meant for displaced people and sell it in the market for money. You buy malaria drug, you take it in the morning, you take it in the night. Condition they was to discover clean a fake drug. Now conny. You go for special center to write the exam. Before exam, they give you answer, they give you question. You get this thing shot, yeah. Now conny. We dey see you. I say we dey see you, yeah. And the conny people, and the conny doing. We dey see. Roche. You be woman, you no go fit talk, they no go give you job. Why? They say your job they for kitchen and the other room. Now conny. Make you hear me. You don't press views inside the lagoon. The lagoon overflows, now there's a flood in your room. Now conny. You claim to have a job, but you do internet fraud. Mr. Entrepreneur, now conny. You dey break all the time, and you dey feel alright. Now wow, share now your private property. You dey spoil everything with others. We dey see you.
Hello there, good morning and welcome to the network news of the NTA. This is the news at 10. I am Cliff Ayozie.
And I'm Anne Jibuno. Thanks for joining us now. The top stories on the news.
Released Dapchi schoolgirls return home, reunite with their families.
This is how residents of Dapchi town are given a rousy welcome to the release of adopted girls.
Federal government debunks alleged fake information on Dapchi schoolgirls' abduction.
Nigeria Police Force girls staff on possession of illegal arms commences raid of identified criminal sports.
In sports, Nigeria's Super Eagles continue training in London ahead of third pre-World Cup friendly.
And now the news. The federal government has reunited the released Dapchi school girls with their parents, and tears and jubilation by the families continue to be the order of the day.
Well, the girls who were conveyed to Government Girls Science and Technical College, Dapchi, where they were accredited and handed over to their parents, were full of gratitude to God for rejoining them with their families once again. Husseini Mohammed Isa reports.
The 105 released Dapchi School girls and 2 other non-students of the school arrived Government Girls Science and Technical College, Dapchi, where they were abducted at exactly 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They met their elated parents anxiously waiting for them in an emotionally charged atmosphere as they arrived to once again rejoin their parents.
Ina kuka ne saboda farin cikin ganin mahaifiyata saboda ban yi tunanin zan sake ganin ta ba domin gurin da na je ban yi zaton zan dawo ba.
Member representing Dapchi community at the Federal House of Representatives, Gwani Bukar Lawan, officially handed over the girls to the representative of Yobe State Government on behalf of the federal government. One after the other, the girls were handed over to their parents by Mala Musti, who represented the state government. Some of the parents who could not hide their joy thanked President Muhammadu Buhari and indeed Nigerians for the safe return of their daughters.
We thank God for that. And we thank every Nigerian for their prayers and for their commitment to see our children back.
Alive to see your girls back home. I'm very, very happy to see my daughters, 2 of them, in my occupied with me. I'm very, very happy.
The girls who are full of happiness vowed to continue with their formal education, saying they are not discouraged by the unfortunate act of the insurgents.
Allah da zan ci gaba da karatun boko saboda kaddara ce dama an ce kaddara ta riga fata.
Ya ce mana idan muka koma mu koma makaranta.
To zaki koma?
Eh zan koma.
Meanwhile, Yobe State government has broke its silence on the release of Dapchi School girls as the Commissioner of Information, Home Affairs and Culture, Mala Musti, extended the gratitude of government and people of the state to President Muhammadu Buhari for securing the release of the girls.
I'm very, very grateful for his effort. We are 100% behind him, and we will keep on praying for all his good intentions of uplifting the standard of Nigeria in general.
This is how residents of Dapchi town are giving a rousy welcome to the release of abducted girls of Dapchi Secondary School. From Dapchi town, I am Hussein Mohamed Isa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the father of Leah, the only Dapchi abducted schoolgirl that remained in captivity, Mr. Sharibu Nautan, has said that he has not lost hope of reuniting with his daughter, given the commitment shown by the federal government in securing her release.
Yes, while thanking President Buhari for showing concern to the family, he appealed to all Nigerians to help the family with prayers for her release. Again, Hussaini Mohamed Isa reports.
Mr. Sharibu Nataan, a 45 years inspector of police serving with Yola Police Command, is the father of Leah, the only girl that remained in captivity among the 110 students of Government Girls Science and Technical College, Dapchi, who were abducted on the 19th of February. Leah, a 15 years SS1 student of the school, is yet to regain her freedom despite the agreement of such between the federal government and the abductors. Other parents of Dapchi abducted girls have every reason to smile. For Mr. Sharibu's family, it is still a painful moment, having continued to stay without the company of their loved daughter, Leah.
Sincerely, since the abduction of our daughter, Leah, the family was very, very sad. Yes, we are in a terrible situation.
Before she was abducted, what is her dream like?
Before her abduction of Leah, Leah was a brilliant girl. We hope that she may reach to a stage of even a medical doctor in this.
But with the message by Mr. President, did you feel relief?
I feel relief. I feel relief seriously. When I hear what the Mr. President said about my daughter, I feel relief.
Hussein Mohamed Isa, NTA News.
The Director, Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Texas Chukwu, says the attention of the force has been drawn to a false and misleading report on the social media by mischief makers alleging that the Dapchi girls' abduction was planned in the villa. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details of the statement.
In the report on the social media credited to one Sergeant David Bako, alleged that Dapchi school girls' abduction was planned and executed at a cost of 80 million naira. Reacting to the information, the Army spokesperson, Brigadier General Texas Chukwu, explained that the author of the story, one Sergeant David Baku, has not served or deserted the army as claimed in the report, while stressing that the army remain non-partisan and a professional institution, advised the public to disregard the baseless claim and desist from sharing such information as it is against the Nigerian Cyber Crime Act 2015. Similarly, the Nigerian Army reacted, a statement credited to the former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Theophilus Yakubu Danjuma, alleging that the armed forces are associated with criminals and unable to secure the people of Taraba State. The Director of Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Texas Chukwu, noted that the Army has always performed its constitutional role of securing the citizen and the nation's territorial integrity. He stressed that the success of the exercise IEM Akbatuma, a military internal security exercise in Taraba State, are visible for all to see. He advised the people of the state to continue to be law-abiding. Ismail Musa, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Ministry of Defense has described as unfortunate a recent comment by one of the elder statesmen alleging that the military collude with bandits to kill people and therefore call on them to rise and defend themselves outside constitutional provisions. A statement by the Public Relations Officer to the Minister of Defense, Colonel Tukur Gusau, says this is highly uncalled for and is an invitation to anarchy and should be disregarded by well-meaning Nigerians. It states that the efforts of the Nigerian armed forces towards restoration of peace, security and order in the country are evidently clear, and Nigerians continue to show appreciations for changing the security environment from what it was before. The statement says the Nigerian armed forces are well organized and highly professional in discharging their constitutional mandate. It therefore asks anyone who has evidence of wrongdoings or dereliction of duty against the troops to bring forward such evidence through the appropriate channels for necessary action. The statement says the military will not be distracted from performing its statutory duties in accordance with the rules of engagement.
And the federal government has reacted to the alleged revelation by a certain Sergeant David Bako in social media circles, claiming there was a top-level conspiracy that stage-managed the abduction of Dapchi schoolgirls on 19th of February.
Minister of Information and Culture Alhaji Lai Mohammed, while reacting to the report in Lagos, made more clarifications on the release of the Dapchi schoolgirls. Anthony Forson reports.
Information and Culture Minister, who was the head of the federal government delegation that visited Yobe twice before the girls were released, said the fake news is being peddled by one Sergeant David Bako, who claims to be in the Nigerian army.
David Bako is fake. There is no such soldier in the Nigerian army. There was no conspiracy anywhere. The intention of those behind the disinformation and fake news is to cause disaffection between Christians and Muslims, and between Southerners and Northerners.
The minister pointed out that the present administration's success in seeking an early release of the girls has ruffled many feathers and upturned plans by naysayers in their plot to portray the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration in bad light.
They have not been able to sleep since the girls came back. Their campaign to unseat President Muhammadu Buhari is fueling their desperation. Nigerians should prepare to see more avalanche of disinformation and fake news in days to come. But they should also not lend any credibility to such reports. They belong to a trash can.
The minister maintained that the schoolgirls were freed as a result of intense back-channel negotiations that involved friendly countries, international organizations, and trusted facilitators. Giving a breakdown of the released children, the minister said a total of 111 girls were abducted on the 19th of February. By implication, one student was not captured on the list of 110 students that was compiled by the school. Also kidnapped were 2 persons who are not students of the college, which brings the total number to 113. And so far, 107 persons have been released, while 6 Dapchi schoolgirls are yet unaccounted for. The minister clarified that the negotiations entered into with the insurgents has been on for quite a while, and it is to give room for the cessation of hostilities, saying the present administration is committed in keeping its promise to Nigerians.
We thank all Nigerians for their support and prayers. We are grateful for their belief in the ability of this government to secure an early release of the girls. We will continue with the ongoing efforts to account for the remaining 6 Dapchi girls and indeed to bring back our remaining Chibok girls.
And to the media, the minister called for restraint and to be more discerning in disseminating materials that serve no other purpose than to sabotage the ongoing efforts to end insurgency. In Lagos, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
The Nigeria Police Force says it will continue to sustain the temper of its strategies adopted in fighting crimes in the country to guarantee adequate protection of lives and property. Olajide Bello reports that the force public relations officer, ACP Jimo Moshood, re-echoes this while parading 22 suspected kidnap and armed robbery gang at Sabon Wuse division of Niger State.
Operations span throughout the North Central, Niger, Kaduna, Nasarawa to Benue, Plateau, and the region. And these are the arms of the operation, Absolute Sanity, having the Special Tactical Squad as a wing that are carrying out this operation.
The police force says it has commenced immediate raids of identified criminal spots, crime flashpoints, and other crime-prone locations nationwide.
Commissioner of Police and the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of commands, state commands and zonal command have the directive of the Inspector General of Police to enter into any premises where we have information or we have unreasonable suspicion that prohibited firearm is being kept. Or we are under the directive of the IGP to enter into such premises, cordon off, raid, and ensure that those firearms are recovered and those who are in possession of them are promptly arrested. And
while appreciating the support from members of the public, the police say it will continue to rely on credible information in combating crime.
Well, in furtherance of the mandate of the ECOWAS to entrench good governance and to also deepen democracy in Sierra Leone, the head of ECOWAS mission, Professor Amos Sawyer, while briefing observers from the Economic Community of West African States, says there is need to tread carefully ahead of the runoff election. Our correspondent Abdul Malik Adio puts the political situation in Sierra Leone in perspective.
Following the successful conduct of the general elections on March 7, 2018, the results announced by the National Electoral Commission revealed that no candidate was able to obtain the 55% vote required for an outright win, hence a presidential runoff between the two top contenders of the All People's Congress and Sierra Leone People's Party. Here, these ECOWAS observers are being briefed on the fury of political activities that can make or mar the presidential runoff elections come 27th March.
It's important that the rule of law, the electoral process, stipulates how you handle disputes. So we gave that process a chance and we remain committed. NEC has to be supported so that they don't feel overwhelmed, and we have to make sure that the integrity of the electoral process is protected. So all of these are issues around which the interventions are meant.
The head of mission also urged the 49 observers to follow the laid-down protocol in the reportage of their observations without reproach and bias.
While we await the outcome of the petition at the High Court, it is expected that two things might happen, which is indeed a slippery slope. One, the manual recounting of the first presidential elections conducted in Sierra Leone, and second, the continuation of the runoff elections as slated for the 27th of March 2018. But the question is the National Electoral Commission here in Sierra Leone ready to conduct the slated elections for the 27th, knowing fully well that the High Court stopped its process of continuation for the preparation for the elections 3 days running? Answers to this we get to find out as to when the outcome of the petition comes out. In the meantime, ECOWAS has put mercenaries in place to ensure that whether the election is postponed or holds, it is free, fair and credible, as these observers will be participating fully in the process. In Freetown, Abdulmalik Adio, NTA News.
Abdulmalik Adio there in Freetown, Sierra Leone, keeping us up to speed with developments relating to the Sierra Leonean elections. Palm Sunday was celebrated yesterday, a day which commemorates the triumphant entry of Jesus Christ into Jerusalem, which began his journey towards redeeming mankind.
Victor Azu visited some churches in Abuja where special services were held and now reports.
The triumphal entry of Jesus Christ in the year 30 AD, riding on an ass as king, was preparatory to his crucifixion and resurrection, which ultimately brought salvation to humanity. Some of the churches in Abuja walked the streets, palms in hand, in solidarity with Christ, while singing songs of praise. The sermons focused on lessons that society can draw on the occasion, which signifies humility and sacrifice.
We pray that every one of us will bow to the desire of God for this nation and allow peace to reign in this country and allow his glory to come down, that we all will be better for it and Nigeria will be a better place for all of us to live in.
With Christ in our lives, with Christ in this country, Nigeria shall have peace. And the glory of God will continue to manifest because he is the King of glory.
As we are celebrating the victory of Jesus Christ and the peace he brought into the world, we are seeing that in our nation, Nigeria, Jesus Christ will take the victory all over our challenges, and we are believing God that all the challenges we have been facing in this nation, Nigeria, will soon be over.
Because God has spared us as a nation to see another triumphal entering Palm Sunday and we are celebrating, God will also help us to triumph over every challenge that we are passing through now.
Palm Sunday marks the commencement of the Holy Week by Christians. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Oh, Cliff, you know, Palm Sunday re-echoes the importance of the ministry of Jesus Christ on earth and certainly has some lessons for our leaders.
Of course, yes, it's a moment of sober reflection, a moment for us to think about the life we lead and our relationship with the Almighty. No matter where we serve, no matter where we belong, we must always think of extending peace and love to our neighbors. And once you're able to recognize your neighbor from the perspective of what you cherish yourself to appreciate in life, I'm sure we'll have a very peaceful community.
Well, earlier, the senior pastor of Ekwa Good News Maitama Abuja, Reverend Olawole Ogumola, was in the studio to talk more on Palm Sunday.
Of course, the clergy enjoins all Nigerians, especially leaders, to emulate the virtues of humility that Christ represented.
First of all, we must know that he came for salvation. So he came to free us from our sins and from every oppression of Satan and everything that has held man captive. So that's one lesson, that every man cannot be free if you come to him. Secondly, we can learn the lesson of humility. He did not ride on a horse, he rode on a never ride on as at that time. So it from him, they should learn the lesson of humility.
Well, you're still watching the news at 10 here on NTA News 24. Still to come.
Letters that define us. History. Details of these and more shortly. About 50 unemployed youth from the Niger Delta region have been empowered with vocational skills and funds to begin businesses in fish production, ICT and entrepreneurship here.
Well, the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Usani Uguru Usani, conducted the graduation in Ibadan, Oyo State capital. Shola Waid reports. It appears we're having a challenge with that story.
Let's now talk business. We're having a little problem with that very report. And it's time to talk business and Nigeria's agricultural sector to receive external support as Avena Africa, an organization noted for wide expertise in the agribusiness, shifts focus to Nigeria.
Plus, a quick review of the capital markets for the week ended 23rd of March 2018. Let's get more details with Joy Uzo.
Welcome to Business News. We'll start with a report on the Avena project targeted at boosting agriculture in Nigeria. In recognition of the country's leadership in agriculture in Africa, organizers of Avena Africa has shifted focus to Nigeria, where it's hoped to convene a large agriculture forum that will feature latest innovations in the industry and encourage economic cooperation among nations. Organizers say they decided to come to Nigeria to network with stakeholders and their products in agriculture and agribusiness and to ensure exportation of these products to different parts of the world. The expo, which is slated to hold in April, will offer a unique productive opportunity between the world's leading agricultural and agribusiness stakeholders to formulate policies and business opportunities that will enhance the development of agriculture, encourage investment, international trade, market networking, skill acquisition, and technical know-how. Moving on now, power generating companies in the country were paid only 6.1 billion naira for over 2 billion megawatts of electricity, worth 48.23 billion naira, distributed in January 2018. This is contained in the latest report released by the GENCOs over the weekend, which revealed that the money was paid to over 23 of them. According to the report, the GENCOs received only 12.62% in the January 2018 payment cycle. Now a quick look at the activities of the Nigerian Stock Exchange from last week, which shows that a total turnover of 2.328 billion shares, worth 28.927 billion naira in 25,530 deals, were traded by investors on the floor of the exchange. The NSE All-Share Index and market capitalization depreciated by 1.11% and 0.14% to close the week at 41,472.10 and 14.982 trillion naira. Similarly, all other indices finished lower during the week, with the exception of the NSE CG, NSE Banking, and NSE Pension indices that appreciated by 1.07%, 3.31%, and 1.67% respectively. Now the stock market resumes trading this Monday. We'll keep you abreast with trading figures at the close of transactions later today in our news bulletins. And on that note, we'll wrap up business news. Many thanks for watching. My name is Joy Uzo.
Thanks a lot, Joy. And now back to our earlier story on the Niger Delta. About 50 unemployed youth from that region have been empowered with vocational skills and funds to begin businesses in fish production, ICT, and entrepreneurship.
Minister of Niger Delta, Useni Uguruseni, conducted the graduation in Ibadan, Oyo State capital. Shola Wahid reports.
The minister, Usani Ugwani Usani, represented by the Director of Economic Empowerment, Ibrahim Akaya, explained that the reason for the program is not only to fast-track development in the country, but also to build general human capacity for national cohesion and development.
President Muhammad Buhari believe that in addition to infrastructure, human capital development is quite vital, quite essential.
Facilitators at the program emphasized that the graduates have been trained in a way to be self-reliant and sufficient, as well as train others. About 50 participants took part in the training program.
Even from where we have seen where fish farm is being built in our eyes, we have also decided to form a cooperative for us to establish this business.
The occasion featured presentation of certificates to participants, gifts to deserving graduates who have distinguished themselves in the course of the program. Shola Wahid, NTA News.
Wherever Nigerians are, they can never be relegated. This characteristic is played out as NTA Star Times TV organized a platform where culture, fashion and intelligence of the Chinese, Nigerian and other African women were showcased.
Adebola Brookslyn Sunday witnessed the occasion.
It was a colorful night to showcase fashion, culture and creativity. The night began on the runway as women from many African countries, including Nigeria, Ghana, Ethiopia, South Africa, and Kenya, catwalked in their country's costumes. The Chinese women were also on the runway to showcase the stuff they are made of. In unity, the African and Chinese children also walked on the nicely decorated runway. In a show of unity, the FCT Social Development Center dance troupe displayed some exciting cultural heritage of Nigeria, and the audience watched in admiration. Girl child education advocate Ngozi Ajama was also on the stage to encourage the audience to support girl child education and skills.
From things happening around you, from theater art, life skills, whatever you can lay your hands upon to do, make sure you open your minds, learn it well, and be the best that you can be on that particular thing.
Similarities between Nigeria and China, especially in the fusion of color, was pointed out.
Nigerian paintings, most of the paintings, they use lots of red. You know, red is very attractive. You know, it says a lot of things. So, and sometimes you use red for love.
Deputy Director, China Cultural Center, Jian Linda, praised the qualities Nigerian women are made of.
Very kind and warm-hearted and very, hardworking. And some of them are very, good educated and have a lot of knowledge and very talented and professional.
Participants took advantage of the occasion to shop for some Nigerian fabrics on display.
Most of the women are the ones in the SMEs. And if we do not empower these women, how do we celebrate them? They have to be empowered.
We need to take it down to the grassroots, through the traditional rulers, through NGOs, through faith-based organizations and civil societies.
Women deserve a lot of appreciation because they literally do everything for us, so we should really appreciate them. And well, I can't wait to be a woman.
The show, tagged Women in Culture 2018, organizers said was put together to enable women interact and have more understanding of themselves. Adebola, Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
This is the network service of the NTA. The news at 10 returns shortly after the break.
This is the network service of the NTA.
In a world where everything is moving on a fast lane, they have the power to do. They have the power to create. They have the power to give you satisfaction and change your world. Yes, they have the power because they are the geniuses, but you call them style creators. Welcome to the place where we explore vibrant and exhilarating fashion designers. Today's Style. My name is Ruth Aguele. They come in numbers, but their creativity cannot be quantified. We're about to explore the world of a powerful woman who is exquisitely divine. You know, when it comes to fashion, we all have our ways of expressing ourselves, and so are these designers. They come up with different creativity, ingenuity, just to express their own design. And I'm here with an amazing woman, Ahalam Bashir. I hope I got your name right, because that Ahalam,
it means patience in
okay.
English. Yes. This is for the first time someone is pronouncing my name correctly.
Okay, she's the creative director, Exquisite Nigeria, proudly representing Made in Nigeria. Welcome to the Day Style.
Thank you.
You look so beautiful.
Thank you. And I just realized we're wearing pink.
Yes. You have been doing this fashion thing for more than 4 years now, counting. How has the journey been so far?
Sweet, sour experience. Every business is like that, I guess. So you get the good times and you have the rough times. So it started way back, my UD days. I just design for friends and they make it and they really love it. So Exquisite started when I designed a bridal outfit, surprisingly for a friend. And she asked me to, because I have tailors who sew for me. I love wearing outfits. I love to sew clothes a lot. And we made the outfit for her and she liked it. So that was literally how we started the whole brand.
The bridals, were you able to sustain that?
I would say I prefer to focus on ready-to-wear outfits, mainly because you hardly see Nigerian brands represented anywhere in the world because we're just used to the made-to-measure. So that was why I decided to venture into the ready-to-wear part of fashion.
And you do it so well, Ahalam, because I was just looking at your design, especially that one there. It looks vintage.
Oh.
Yes. Do you have a favorite design here? One that when you look at it, you're amazed. Did I create this? Ahalam, did you make this?
I think I love all my designs because I take my time to actually put in so much to bring it out. So this is one of my favorite because it's like
it too. It's
a lot of
vintage.
things infused into just one outfit. I love fringe, so I was so happy and so excited to create a design, not something just regular, not something simple. Actually, it's a Valentine collection. I noticed everyone in Nigeria and around the world focus on red for Valentine, but I read a lot. And I just come to realize that Valentine colors are red, white, and pink. So I had to pick up interest in Valentine's Day, and I realized really it's not just red.
You know, I didn't know that fact.
Yes,
now
I can be very informative.
And you know, Ahalam, you're from the north.
Yes, one of my constraints.
One would expect that you do more of the conventional northern designs.
Well, I'm not conventional.
I can see that from what you're wearing.
I try to break boundaries. Like that's what Exquisite is all about. To actually bring out the best in a person without limiting. I don't just design for northerners. I design for everyone. So my brand doesn't strictly represent the north, even though I'm from the north. But yeah, I try to infuse the northern aesthetics into my brand just to make it look different and exceptional.
Now, if we're talking modesty, a lot of people have this misconception that because you're from the north, yes, you have to be modest in your dressing. How would you marry modesty and one staying stylish?
It's really easy. Well, everyone has a definition of modesty, whether you're from the north or from the south. So you define modesty based on your personality. There is no specific definition of modesty. It just depends on the person. You can be wearing a bum short and someone will think you don't look modest. But to that person, that is like very modest. So modesty is just an ambiguous word actually to me. So you define it based on your personality, based on your religion, based on your culture. That all entails the kind of definition that word will mean to you.
Ahalam, you're into ready-to-wear, and I'm just wondering, is it difficult if you have to mass produce? Do you do mass production, first of all?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so is it dark skin if you have to mass produce?
I tend to learn a lot from different cultures, from different ethnic groups. We tend to learn one or two things from that, and I try to infuse different cultures into my brand, into my aesthetics when I'm producing any new collection.
I know, looking at the fashion industry today, your dream is to promote the Made in Nigerian brand.
My dream is to see Made in Nigerian products everywhere in the world, just the way you go buy Gucci, the way you buy other brands abroad. So I try not to copy, I try to be original, I try to be creative, because I feel that's what fashion is all about, the creativity, the originality. That's the only way your brand can stand out.
Do you think the up-and-coming designers we see today in terms of originality, that's where they get it wrong? Lack of originality?
Entrepreneurship, it's not lucrative as we call it, because people go into entrepreneurship thinking it's all simple and easy. You just sit down and make millions. It's very tedious. You need to put in all the hard work. You need to be very creative. You need to be ready to have sleepless nights, critical insomnia. You need to be ready for all that. And you're going to have times when you just want to quit. So if you don't take your business seriously, at that point, seriously, you're going to quit. But then if you know what you want, you know where you want to see your brand in years to come, you're going to bounce back and really make it happen.
Was there a time in your life, Alam, you almost quit?
A lot of times.
Okay, so what kept you going?
My passion for it. I have like an exceptional passion for colors, So I have so much passion for my brand, because I know what I've put in to get it to where it is right now. And quitting is not just an option. Yes, you have setbacks and you try to just relax for a bit and then you bounce back.
Being a dermatologist, is that not going to be profitable?
It is, but then I have different personalities at different time. Right now I'm a fashion designer, so I
you can switch to what now? What would you switch to next?
I have an entrepreneurial hub called Nexus Luxury, where I bring different entrepreneurs together to promote their brands. We do it quarterly.
Okay.
So that's why I say I can switch to different things at different times. Sometimes it's just passion for it, passion for the game, but sometimes I do things to make things right. I think I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I try to bring out the best in everything I do. I think we are happy with ourselves now. We are proud to wear Nigerian brands, because years back, like our parents, they prefer to wear other brands, like brands they could actually call and represent here in Nigeria. So now I think with the awareness, with our designers being very creative, we've actually broken that barrier that even our top Nigerians are proud to wear our own. So it's like a huge success in the fashion industry.
You know,
we're not there yet, but I think with more hard work, more work put into it, we're going to get there.
How would you describe your personality? Are you a conservative woman, or tell us?
Oh, that would be really difficult, because I'm a very private person. I love my private life, and my business life, business. So I don't tend to mix up business and my personal life.
What are your fears, Alam, in the fashion world, and generally, what are your fears?
Really, I have little or no fear for anything, because I believe if I want to do something, I will put in my best to achieve it, to make sure I have it done. So there is really nothing to be frightful about when it comes to your business or your personality. Yes, we all have our fears, but then when you know with prayers, with so much hard work, you can overcome it, then you don't have anything to worry about.
Can you remember the first time you picked up a sewing machine and you made a dress?
That was when I was like 4.
Are you serious?
I had this toy sewing machine. It was pink in color, and I would destroy everyone's hair tie to make outfits for my doll. So I had like a lot of them. I used to call her Amanda.
Okay.
And I think I've been sewing for a really long time. Even
And
I can't remember what I made when I was 4 years.
Though, did you envisage that you would get this far?
I never saw it coming.
Okay.
I just do it for the fun of it because I just love to design outfits. I love to make people look beautiful. So mostly I do it for friends and family. Like they just ask. I have a good sense of style that people like. They just seek for advice basically, and I just tell them what to do. Sometimes I even advise on the fabrics. And the last one I made, the question just popped up. Why don't you just invest in this?
You agree with me that we have a lot of creative designers out there when we're talking creativity, when we're talking ingenuity. But when I look at designs, a new design can just come up by a designer. And I'll be wondering, where did they get this inspiration from? Please tell us, where?
Honestly, that question is like hard to answer because different designers get their inspirations from different things.
Is it a gift? Will you call it a gift?
Yeah, it could be a gift and it could be something you've practiced over time, but inspiration can come from anywhere. It can come from anywhere, it can come from anything.
Exactly.
So you imagine looking at the clouds and you're seeing an outfit. If that is not your passion, you won't be seeing an outfit in the clouds.
Yes.
So it's sometimes funny. It's more like a myth to me.
Alam, what gives you fulfillment and satisfaction?
I love to give back to the society. So I won't be fulfilled until I see so many designers come out from my brand. Like that is my dream. That is where I want to be in the future, to look back and say, yes, these are the people I have trained, and to see my designs in every shop.
How would you advise people to keep up with trends? Because trends come and go.
Most of my designs, you can wear it after 5 years because they do not have a direct trend. They just have infused trends. So they are just like timeless pieces. So I feel if we can create more of that, because anything you do, someone else has done it before.
Yes.
So it's just like improving on what someone else has done before. There is nothing new. There is nothing we haven't seen. But just try to be original. Once you're original, then you have this exclusivity, which is like very amazing in the fashion.
And exquisite.
And exquisite. Thank you.
You're very passionate about giving back to society, and that's a very remarkable stride. And we're so proud of you. But I want you to speak to that little girl, that little boy watching you right now who want to give up on their dreams. What would you tell them? One word.
So I would just like to say success is not achieved overnight, so don't be overwhelmed. Quitting is not an option. You just put in the hard work and keep praying about it, because I'm a very spiritual person and I assure you, you'll get there. Just keep pushing.
You're already there, darling. Thank you
so much for having me.
And keep
Thank
looking
you very
beautiful.
Much. Thank you.
Keep promoting our brand.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Ahalam Bashir, a remarkable woman, creative director, Exquisite Nigeria, proudly representing Made in Nigeria, and she's stopping at nothing promoting this brand, and we are stopping at nothing pushing these designers forward, because Nigeria, we're definitely going to get to the promised land. We'll go on a break. Today's Style, we'll be back. You know, I'm just calculating how far we can go with our fashion industry. It's a value chain that needs to be vigorously explored. Some say it's the tip of the iceberg with the already grand achievements. Well, we'll keep our eyes on the prize. Now, moving on, they cannot do without this set of people talking about models and fashion designers. They go hand in hand. But it takes a lot to get to the peak of their career. They call her the powerhouse when it comes to runway. They call her the queen of the runway. And she let us into her world and what it takes to build a modeling career.
Hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all these years you like to meet, to go over everything.
My name is Miss Hopes, Hope Choma, professionally known as Hopes, model, intentional model, and model instructor. Looking at my passion for instructing and coaching models, it started in 2012-2013 when I started my modeling trainings for models. This has been my passion for years, to discover talent. And in one of my programs for discovering talent is Launch Your Dream. Launch Your Dream is all about finding out the potential in anyone's life, most especially the models of today. Some of them don't have the ethics of modeling, some of them have it, but they don't have someone that can assist them, that can give them a platform. And in this my platform, I'm using that to like train and launch them out for the world to see. We have a lot of talent wasting out there. What I'm trying to project out there is for us to be proud with what we have. My passion, number one, is to really catch them young. I'm the most happiest person when I see when parents are encouraging the young kids, seeing their potential and taking them through and also putting them in that career. What took me around the world today is nothing but what I'm doing, modeling career. I've been invited to several countries for this. So I indulge all the parents in Africa, most especially Africa. They hit talent a lot. I almost died in silence because of the way my career was almost shattered. Anywhere I go to, people call me, you look like a model, but no encouragement, nobody to encourage me. I tell myself that, what can you do to help others? Then I created a platform where I can be training these people. And parents in Africa, you have been told not to pursue your dream. And now you are holding your own kids not to pursue their own dream. You watch your child, you see what that child can do. Or you bring the child out for something. Everybody cannot be a doctor. Everybody cannot be a nurse. So many people, after going there, they still come back. They because this talent gives you happiness, fulfillment in life. If you guide them well, you cannot miss that. Their focus can only miss when you don't guide them. When you don't even care about their career, what they want.
Hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times to tell you I'm sorry for everything that I've done. But when I call you, never seem to be home. Hello from the outside. At least I can say that I've tried.
I've been training models. I've not gotten the right words to them to the training. Last year I got the right word, and that right word was lead. Lead is LYD. LYD is launch your dream. So many of them wishes to go back to school, and with the passion that they have so far, they just wrote their exam. They got their distance, they are back to school. Because I have what I call goal setting. The important thing is for you to be what? Focused in life. Once you are focused, even when you pause, you still come back to your career. So many people are confused in life because they have multi-talent. Like I was in New York Fashion Week, I showcased my clothing line, and also I walk on the runway for another designer, because so many people perish in ignorance. With a lot of awareness and everything, we'll get there. We are already there. Good. And be focused at any time. Focus. Your focus should always capture. Oh my God, you are testing. He's testing. You can see. How are you feeling now? Wonderful. Wonderful. Do you have eye problem or something? A little bit. But that's not it. But you need your focus. So sorry. A lot of people do that.
Lie, lie, my one and only. Lie, lie, lie,
Hopes offer there one powerful woman we're so proud of, and she's stopping at nothing to impact humanity. Career. It takes a lot to build a career. It takes attitude to conquer your world and build your dream. Now, when they have achieved that dream, talking about models, they go into the world and explore. But we'll put a spotlight on our music videos, and we know that our music artists cannot sometimes do without these models. Let's check out those trending videos promoting the Made in Nigerian brands.
Music is a powerful tool for change. Just as fashion is one way of expressing one's personality, there is certainly an intersection between popular music culture and fashion trends, as popular musicians often tend to be trendsetters for those who love their music. Music offers fashion more than a theme or a movement, as most designs created for the purpose of the song becomes a trend and adds spice to the music videos. When fashion designers and entertainment celebrities engineer fashion to fit a particular music theme, the collaboration is explicitly divine. And our Nigerian artists are pushing the limits and becoming more expressive with their music, leaving no stone unturned, promoting culture and bringing a high sense of fashion.
Fresh diva, happiness is a good fever.
So here are some of those music videos by popular artists who popped the art of fashion in their music. Mad Over You by Runtown. This certainly has to be captivating, with a blend of high fashion and creativity. Makes us fall in love over and over again with this video. Produced by Del B.
Baby girl, I say your body na killer, oh. I get it tired of your body, oh. Only on your body. That girl for the corner, there's somebody made a call.
Next is Cheche by Mayokun, produced by Kidominant. Cheche impacts an eye-popping visual directed by the raved Clarence Peters.
Wake up and leave. Party on 999. Party on wake up and leave. Party on 9. Big time forward. Yeah. Star boy there, so. Came into the game, no one replace me. Me love mine, I see straight, we no chaser. All of my guys know me.
Wizkid's Come Closer featuring Drake has to be a great choice, because you really need to come closer to your screens and have it replay to get a real feel of the high eccentric designs. Simply put, genius.
You make me sing, I know. You make me sing, I know. Yeah.
These two are a maestro in the game of music. Here is P-Square's Nobody Ugly.
Hey. No. Nobody ugly.
The swag they brought on in this video is fascinating. We cannot but notice their agbada, which depicts a blend of culture in contemporary music.
As you there for Twitter, your name for Insta, sexy for delicious twister. Hey, why you do the lie? Yeah? When nothing there to the shake you, where the waste you. Don't do me tumbum.
Yemi Alade has to be a #1 choice any day, anytime, as she's videos. Yemi sure knows how to captivate her fans and make them ask for more, as she never fails to infuse Nigerian fashion in her music videos along with her captivating vibes. The more eye-catching the fashion is, the more likely fans will check out their music further.
No doubt, the relationship between fashion and popular music is one of abundance and mutual creativity. Salute to our music artists who are rapping and promoting our fashion brands. Let's continue to promote this brand made in Nigeria. And this is where we say thank you so much for being part of today's style. I hope you enjoyed every bit of what we have offered today. We'll see you next week, but remember to always keep that smile burning because that's your style. My name is Ruth Aguere. Bye-bye.
NTA Language.
Jama'a masu kallon labaran NTA Hausa barkanmu da warhaka. Ni ne.
Ekukale lode yin wise kudedeya.
Igbo murum kachano.
Broadcasted in the language you understand better. Our programs. Transmitting on the Star Times platform 24 hours.
Àwọn onímọ̀ nípa ètò ẹ̀kọ́ lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà.
Hukumar tara kudaden haraji ta ƙasa.
Alani na ọchịchị mba United Arab Emirates UAE.
The only channel that speaks your language.
Anyị ga-eweta akụkọ gbasara ọrịa ahụ nke wakporo obodo anyị.
Kálejì, mo kọ́kùnrin, mo kọ́bìnrin, mo kí ọmọdé, mo sì kí àgbàlagbà.
Mu kokari mu sauke nauyin alƙawarin da muka ɗauka.
Ẹ kú lẹ́yìn tèmi, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò wa ètò yín ètò obìnrin tó dángájá.
Waye fi cancanta a ɗauka a matsayin ɗan aikin cikin gida.
Jama'a
masu kallon tashar NTA Hausa, barkamu da warhaka.
Kí ni ayẹyẹ ọdún Iléyá tá máa ń ṣe lọ́dọọdún yìí rọ̀ mọ́?
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
You are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority.
Hello, here is an update of the news. The federal government has reunited the released Dapchi schoolgirls with their parents amid tears and jubilation by the families and other members of Dapchi community. The girls were conveyed to Government Girls Science and Technical College, Dapchi, where they were accredited and handed over to their parents. The girls were full of gratitude to God for rejoining them with their families.
We thank God for that. And we thank every Nigerian for their prayers and for their commitment to see our children back.
I'm very, very happy to see my daughters, two of them, in my occupied with me. I'm very, very happy.
Well, the federal government has reacted to the alleged revelation by a certain Sergeant David Bako in the social media, claiming that there was a top-level conspiracy that stage-managed the abduction of Dapchi schoolgirls on 19th February. Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, while reacting to the report in Lagos, made more clarifications on the release of the Dapchi schoolgirls.
Is fueling their desperation. Nigerians should prepare to see more avalanche of disinformation and fake news in days to come. But they should also not lend any credibility to such reports. They belong to a trash can.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Defense has described as unfortunate a recent comment by one of the elder statesmen alleging that the military collude with bandits to kill people and therefore call on them to rise and defend themselves outside constitutional provisions. A statement by Public Relations Officer to the Minister of Defense, Colonel Tukur Gusau, says this is highly uncalled for and is an invitation to anarchy and should be disregarded by well-meaning Nigerians. It states that the effort of the Nigerian armed forces towards restoration of peace, security and order in Nigeria is evidently clear, and every Nigerian should continue to show appreciation for changing the security environment from what it was before. The statement says the Nigerian armed forces are well organized and highly professional in discharging their constitutional mandate. It therefore asks anyone who has evidence of wrongdoings or dereliction of duty against the troops to bring forward such evidence through the appropriate channels for necessary action. The statement says the military will not be distracted from performing its statutory duties in accordance with the rules of engagement. Well, that's an update of the news at 11. Another one comes up at 1. Thanks for staying with us. Meanwhile, stay tuned for News Panorama at 12.
This is the network service of the NTA.
You will have to jump off a cliff just knowing that you will not crash. Let me tell you, everybody has their baggage and everybody has their demon. So you might as well deal with your own demon and everything will work out fine. If you're not in control of your emotions will be in control of you.
Infertility can be defined or can be said to be the inability of a couple to conceive or to hold a pregnancy for a period of time till conception. The burden of infertility on couples is the social problems it brings, the feeling bad that this is something that I want and I can't seem to get it. Why is my body not acting the same way other people's bodies are? Why can't I do the same thing other people are doing? Why can't I get what other people are getting? It's a burden. It's something that can lead to depression, something that can lead to anxiety when you see other people's babies or see other people celebrating for their children and you can't seem to get yours. I think the society sees the issue of infertility as something that they look down on people that are unable to conceive. And it's not meant to be so. The society is meant to embrace people that have this kind of problems because some of them, it's not their own natural doing. It's of God, or it's out of their own will. It's outside their own will, rather. So the society is meant to embrace it and not look down on anyone who is infertile, who has this kind of issue. Infertility is out of a person's control. My encouragement to those who have infertility issues is first to seek help. Check yourself, go to the doctor, go and see if you have any problems that you can work on, if there are some medications you're supposed to take, if there are some things that you're supposed to do that you're not doing, some food or fruits you have to eat. Just get help first, and try and avoid the stigma or the bad feelings that come with it. Try as much as possible to live your normal life if you have any. In fact, not just infertility, any sort of problem. Try as much as possible to bring to remove your mind off this problem, and you'll be better off for it.
Thank you so much for tuning in today, and you are watching Emotions with Omenasa. And today, I am going to talk about a topic that people don't like to talk about. But I'm going to talk about infertility. And I remember when my husband had come to propose to me, and he had mentioned his own way of proposing was just epic. The guy didn't have anything, like he had zilch. He didn't have nothing. And we can boldly give that testimony today, because now, by the grace of God, like, he has everything that he had always dreamt of. But back then, when he came up and he wanted to get married, he didn't even have a house. Like, I think that he was being evicted on that very day. But the way that he proposed, he said, "You are my wife, and you are the mother of my 4 children." I can never forget it. He flat out told me, "You are the mother of my 4 children." Now, some people will see that as pressure. Some people will see that as an indirect cue that the guy is trying to tell you that he wants 4 kids. I just saw it as sweet. I mean, like, what man wouldn't want to have children, right? Anyway, when we did get married, we didn't even have half of a child. We didn't have one. 6 months passed by, 1 year passed by, and I was beginning to get worried. So we went to a fertility doctor who said, "Madam, it's hormonal imbalance." Okay, now, a lot of women have hormonal imbalance. So let's tweak here, tweak here. Then they started to put me on injections. Then they started to put me on steroids, trying to get my hormones and everything to just be in shock so that they could behave themselves. So that when that day comes, when that day comes, and first of all, a lot of people don't even know what that day is. Do you know that you can only get pregnant 12 times in a year? Yes, you only ovulate 1 day a month. A lot of people don't know that. So when that day comes, that's what I was preparing myself for. Do you know how frustrating it is to be living your life for that 1 day? And then when that 1 day comes, it still doesn't happen. Then you live your life waiting for that next month. When that next month comes, it still doesn't happen. It's very, very frustrating. And then on top of it, you have people around you. For someone like me who has a very, very busy schedule, people think that I'm so stupid that I don't want children, that I allow my busy schedule to get in the way. First of all, I am a woman of priority, and I've always been. My family always comes first. God, and then my husband. And my husband, of course, will then be my children. If things are normal, I should be pregnant. Okay? So, but that is infertility for you. So this whole nonsense about people walking out of their marriages, let them go out and try somebody else. I am so glad that sometimes it really, really just doesn't work, because then you just show yourself. But for people who it really does work, shame. That's a big shame. It's truly, truly a big shame that because both of you don't have children. You see, I don't know if you've ever watched my show on infidelity. I talked about marriage being a union of 2, but it takes 1. It takes 1 person to make the marriage work, which means that it takes your decision, and then it takes my decision. I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to make this thing work. But you really, really cannot have bingo if both of you are not in accordance, if both of you are not agreeing. It won't happen. For women who don't even know the days that they are ovulating, for women who don't even ovulate at all, please now, try and get some education. And then for people like us who know the right time of the month, for women like me, and it's so sad that I'm actually in that category, but I know that I'm going to come out of that category really soon. My husband and I did an IUI. It didn't work for us. But I know people who have done that IUI and it worked. Sometimes it could be an infection. Sometimes it could just be like one really, really small STD. I know that some of you will say, an STD is not small. No, there's some STDs that are minor. You can just take a pill and it goes. You don't even need an injection. Get yourself checked. If it's just an infection, that can be taken care of with just an injection, excuse me. And then if that doesn't work, then you move on to an IVF. My husband and I have done an IVF. It was about 24 injections that I took in 1 month. It's a lot of probing, so that was what I went through. A lot of opening and closing and ultrasounds and all of that. And you have to be aware of your body. Be writing down all your symptoms. Are you having hot flashes? Are you having pain? Do you have painful periods? All of that. Write all of those things down so that when you do have your meeting with the doctor, then you actually know what you're saying. Is your period late? Or you don't even have a period at all? That's a problem. Husbands, men, also know your wife's cycle. Know when she's supposed to ovulate. So that when it doesn't happen, you should also be alarmed. It is two. It takes two of you to make this thing work, but it takes one person to have a determination. Okay? It does. If an IVF does not work, who says that you cannot do surrogacy? Yes, who says that you cannot do surrogacy? For those of you who don't know what surrogacy means, that means that you have tried and it didn't work. So you could just had your eggs and your husband's semen merged together, fertilized, and then they inject it in another woman. It's not her baby. It's your baby. It's your DNA. It's your DNA. It's not her baby. She is just the incubator. It's just that some people don't know how to handle that emotionally, because some people really may have the child and then they feel attached, but it's really not their baby. So who says that you cannot do that? Yes, it's expensive, but you would have your child. If you're over 40, you may need donor eggs, meaning that they may not be able to use your own eggs because once you're 40 years old, your eggs are no longer as viable. They are no longer as strong. When a woman at 60 gave birth to a child, people are just in shock. It's truly called a testimony because the eggs are not even as healthy as they are when you're 20 or when you're 15 or, So you can use donor eggs. Who said you can't? Let me go back to surrogacy. I don't understand how there are some women who wear the silicone. They actually wear a belly. They are going to work with a fake belly. They are going to church with a fake belly. They are going to the mosque with a fake belly. They are going everywhere with a fake belly. And there is a woman in a corner carrying your child. I have tears in my eyes because I don't get it. What level of ingratitude is that? Yes, that is my opinion. To me, it's just ingratitude. And it's just fake. And it is lies. I see it all the time. And then after 9 months, they come to church and they do Thanksgiving. Are you kidding? As in, are you kidding? No. The reason why you are infertile at this point is not a curse. It's not an affliction. It is not. It is a testimony. Maybe using the word testimony is too religious for you. Okay. Your situation is for somebody else. You are just a catalyst. So if you find yourself in that kind of situation of infertility, that is your opportunity to open a support group. That is your opportunity to actually go out just as people do with cancer, just as people do with AIDS. This is your opportunity to get answers, not to conceal, pay millions of naira, millions of dollars to be walking around with fake bellies, and somebody is in a corner spitting, throwing up, and carrying your baby for 9 months, even though they are getting paid. Yes, I get it. But man, and then you show up for Thanksgiving, or some people even go out of the country for 9 months or 10 months and then come back into the country and they do a one bear. Are you kidding? There's nothing wrong with surrogacy, but I think that it's high time that people are transparent about infertility. I'm crying because I have been a victim of infertility. I've tried to have children, and God has only used it as a situation in my life to show me that there are some things in this life that you cannot manipulate. There are some things in this life that you cannot change. Let me wipe my tears. I'll come back. Welcome back. I tried to clean my tears, but it's such a passionate topic for me, so I don't know how much of that I can do. We are talking about infertility, and I was giving you the different options. I am a woman who has been in my marriage for almost 6 years, and we've not heard the cry of a baby. But that process has shown me that there are some things in this life that are bigger than us. And we cannot just sit back there, putting our life on hold, waiting for this child to come, because the truth is, really, what if it doesn't come? I have traveled to India to actually get myself checked. I've traveled to America to get myself checked. I've gotten myself checked in over 4 hospitals in Nigeria. I mean, really, what more am I going to do? What more? There are some things that are just bigger than you. So, instead of hiding this thing called infertility, hiding it, or I was even talking about the surrogacy, how people would actually wear a belly to fool everybody while somebody is in a corner having your baby. But in lying to people for 9 months, being out of the country for 1 year, and then you just come back, boom, with a child. No. Start an organization, start a support group, start a campaign, change people's lives. Let people know that it was surrogacy. Yes. Let people even know that it was an IVF. You are 60 years old, you are 70 years old. It is, and it was not a miracle. I'm not talking about people who had a miracle. I'm talking about people who did an IVF, and then they just come out ho-ha. Oh, we just thank God. Oh, we just want to thank God. Oh, God has done it for us. Oh, God has done it again. Why did you omit your testimony? Why did you omit it? Why didn't you say that? I thank God that we didn't have the money. Or I thank God that we had the money and God gave us those millions. I thank God that out of the women who had failed IVFs, because people do have failed IVFs. I've done an IVF before and it has failed. Out of all those failed attempts, this time it actually happened. We really, really want to thank God. Why don't you give your testimony that in this process of infertility, man, you learned that some things are totally out of your control. Why can't you be honest and tell people that your relationship with your spouse was probably strained? Maybe they even threatened to even bring in another spouse. Why can't you tell people that? Why can't you tell people that, but God intervened on your behalf? God gave you a child. No. This is Africa. We don't talk. Yeah, we don't talk. But in many ways, we're also very fake. Everything is so exterior. That's why a lot of people are in pain. Because nobody is real. For crying out loud. Well, not that nobody is real, but the country, the culture is set up to conceal and to hide. And whatever you hide is endangered. Whatever you hide is in prison. Infertility, it is a serious problem. The man has a problem. The woman has a problem. I thank the Almighty God. And I'm not saying it because I'm in front of the camera. I thank God that I married a man. First of all, I married a man of God, which means that he is God's child. And he behaves like his father, which is God. The man has not for one day put any pressure on me. And that's not because he does not want children. I will have you know that my husband is a Yoruba man who came from a family of 9 siblings. So he's family oriented. He wants children. But he has the understanding that children come from God. They don't come from a woman. They do not come from a woman. Children are blessings from God. Blessings from God. From God. So you men and you women, need to realize that jumping out of your marriage to go and get a child showed that your motives were ulterior from the start, right from the beginning. I thank God for my in-laws. I thank the Almighty. Not one day have they picked up the phone. You may say, your husband will not tell you if they've been calling him. No. Mr. Akomolafe will tell me. And there is something about in-laws. They don't know how to hide their own. No matter how much they are pretending, it will come out one day. My in-laws have not one day disturbed me, and they will never will. Because that opportunity is not even going to come. Because God is going to answer me very, very soon. And He will answer you too very, very soon. But what do you do in the interim? What do you do when you have tried an IVF? What do you do when you've even done the surrogacy? What do you do when you have tried an IUI? What do you do when you have cleared all the infections? When you've drank all the agbo in the world? I remember when I was drinking, I came straight from the US. My whole system, I have never drank anything herbal in my life. Only for me to come here, and I wanted children so bad that I was drinking one kind of liquid that had sticks inside it. Very, very bitter. Looking for a child. What do you do when you go through that process? What do you do when people invite you for naming ceremonies and they know that you don't have a child? What do they do when they even invite you to officiate the naming ceremony? My husband and I have been invited to name a baby. And we didn't even know where to start. Because we've not named ours. We have the names in our hearts, but we don't have them yet in our hands. And one day we will. I don't know about my husband, but one thing that I have learned in my journey of infertility is that I still have to live my life. And I am a whole woman with or without a child. I'll never forget a friend of mine when she got married. Her father-in-law actually told her, I hope you know that you're still a girl. When you're a woman, we will call you. When you're a woman, we will get in touch with you. Which means 9 months from now. They already started putting pressure on her. What does that mean? You will not believe the type of statements I've heard. The type of statements that have been made to me because I don't have a child from people. Is it because that you're so busy? Or is it because that you don't want any children? My dear, you better want children, oh. Children are a gift from God. They are indirectly trying to tell you that you don't have any gift in your life because you don't have a child. You are useless in the society. Because you don't have a child. You are not as intelligent because you have never wiped the butt of a baby. Because you don't know what the smell of diapers are. That is a lie. Man, woman, who has been labeled or stereotyped infertile. I want to tell you that your womb may not be able to give birth to a child right now. Because remember, everything in life is a season. Everything in life is for a season. The doctor may say that you are infertile, but that doesn't mean that you are not fruitful. It doesn't mean that you are not fruitful. It doesn't mean that you are not a good husband. It doesn't mean that you're not a good wife. It doesn't mean that you're not a good friend. It doesn't mean that you're not a loyal person. And it does not mean that you are not in God's good books. It's God that gives everything. If He chose not to give you a child, then He knows what He's doing. You may not be ready now. Maybe there is a contract coming your way that you're not even going to have any time for. So He's waiting for that time. Maybe your spouse is going to die, God forbid. But maybe there is a situation that is going to happen that you may not be able to handle. And it may not be ideal to have a child now. I am a very, very realistic type of person. So after I tried that first IVF and it didn't work, after I did that IUI, after I found myself in situations where I tried so hard, spending all kinds of money, flying to different countries, and I found out that this answer was not mine to give, I relaxed. I kept on writing books. I kept on singing. I kept on doing so many things to help people. I even started to go to hospitals and I will ask for the mothers who just gave birth, strangers, and I will give them gifts. I will give them diapers. I will give them baby clothes. At first, I started it because I was planting a seed for my own child. I even went as far as buying baby clothes, feeding bottles, in symbolism that one day my own children will come. But I found out that there are some things in this life that when you forget them, they will actually come. That's the irony of life. So I decided to focus on myself. I decided to be the best that I can be, because if God does not give me a child, God is still going to ask me, Adam, where is Eve? Eve in this case is the epitome of your purpose. Adam, where is Eve? What did you use your life to do? The life that I gave to you, what did you use it for? Oh, you used it sitting down crying, being depressed because you didn't have a child? Then that's when they will show you all the people who have not had children and how they changed the world, how they became missionaries, how they wrote books, they became authors, how they became pastors, how they became lawyers, how they took their pain and they turned it into gain. And then you will realize that it wasn't only you after all. For those of you who are dealing with infertility, it is not a stigma. It is only a stigma when you decide to wear it on your forehead. So infertility, please don't just sit down thinking that it will solve itself. No, infertility does not solve itself. It is a problem, it is a disease. And a problem has to be solved. And go to the problem solver, which is a fertility doctor. My husband and I went, and God has been very, very faithful to us. We are getting closer to our answer. And I know that one day, you too will have your answer right in the palm of your hands. But until then, stay true to yourself. Stay transparent. Husbands, stay in your marriage. Your blessing is in the marriage. It's not in another woman outside. There is so much more to marriage than having children. God bless you.
You will have to jump off a cliff just knowing that you will not crash. If you're not in control of your emotions will be in control of you.
yadda za a samu cikakken ci gaba.
Ìwàásù ẹni ọ̀wọ̀ ní kólà tó kọ̀ ó ní ó yẹ kí àwọn ènìyàn súnmọ́ Ọlọ́run kí á sì máa.
This Martin of yours, is it every day?
Woman, I have been teaching you about the power of a goodbye kiss from a loving husband. It's a way of rejuvenating the love.
Let me be.
I love you. Let me teach you the civilized way of romance.
Is it by this unhealthy Martin attitude of yours one can only learn? Besides, I only rejected because I have not brushed my teeth.
What? That's unhealthy, unsanitary. It's unhygienic. How many times will I teach you to brush your mouth last thing at night so you can keep a fresh breath all through? Because in the morning you can never tell when your Lord and Master will want to express his love through kissing.
Yeah. Go low. Bad. Okay, come on, go to her before you get it. Bushman. Bushman.
Kilode, what happened? What did you solve? Council may don't look at our sub.
Which council? Which shop?
Council may, mommy, they say our sub dirty. Yellow they even follow them, come back.
Oh. So Adunia has decided to be confrontational. Who?
No.
Alake?
No, mommy.
Show the latte. What is talking in the room? I will tell her that I'm the Jared of Itabura. Alake? Didele! Go get my bag! Shabuta ni want see. What council?
Tenna!
Hey.
What's up now?
I'm fine. I'm sorry, gentlemen. You're going to have to come back later, because as you can see, I'm cleaning up my place of business.
Shoo? No be our money you go pay.
Didn't you hear me the first time? I said you're going to have to come back. I'm cleaning up my place of business. Or do you want the council to come and lock up this place?
Now what for you? Your own day too much. Oh. Now because not only you get bored for this village.
You're just being rude. Common sense should let you know that cleanliness is next to godliness. I know the customer is king. I respect that, and I respect you too. But I will not compromise doing the right thing.
Guy, forget grammar. If you see a leg for here again, make you cut and come out. Yeah, man. Oh boy, will you clear come out? Nonsense. What did you do that for? Ross.
Excuse me?
It's not a mistake.
What a mistake? You did that intentionally and you're going to pay. Since you were unable to listen to my explanation the simple way, you will pay for it, your stupidity the hard way. Where's my phone? I need to call the authorities on you. I will call. You come back here. I will catch you. We live in this community together.
Ewo, wala mbo, Chief. Someone is plotting my downfall in this community. Yes. Adunia has gone beyond words and decided to go confrontational. That woman is asking for war. Can you imagine the nonsense? She brought council men to lock up my shop for flimsy excuse of being dirty. Benny. Oh, you know I'm a sobe. Yeah. Now it is very clear that she's being jealous of me. I will get her down before she gets me. Benny Moso. Okay. All right. I'll be glad if you can do that for me. Thank you so much. Eshe. Okay. Eshe, thank you. I'll be so glad. Thank you.
Close your eyes properly. I gave you simple instructions and you could not even keep to it. Listen, any child who disobeys his teacher should be ready to receive the punishment and learn his lessons.
A war. Abomination. Oh, Amy, have you gone mad?
What is that supposed to mean?
How dare you? Didn't your common sense tell you that Akin is a royal prince of Odowura, and by the special grace of God, a king to be?
And so, Mr. Balogun, he is in my class, and I decide what punishment to mete out for an offense committed by pupils. And if you don't mind, please make use of the door.
You must be a fool. In short, you are a fool not to realize that the royal family, they are both such corporal punishment. Oh yeah, get up. Akin, are you okay? Come.
Balogun.
Are you okay? Have you eaten? No. Emmanuel! Go to the kiosk outside, get some snacks and a bottle of salt. Hurry up.
Sir.
Yes, Mr.
Mr. Balogun is getting on my nerves. That man is asking for it.
Come down and tell me what the bone of contention is.
That man is poking his fingers too deep into my affairs.
Mr. William, will you hit the nail on the head?
I made a roster for sweeping and cleaning of the class.
Yes.
It was the turn of Akin the Prince and 3 others. They flouted my orders and had to discipline them by kneeling.
That's right.
Only for Mr. Balogun to burst into the staff room and set the kid free. He called me all manner of names and threatens to beat me.
Wow, Fiji, that's ignominious. Why would you do such a thing?
He said that the prince is above corporal punishment.
Baglord, arrant nonsense. Let's go there.
Mr. Balogun, what savagery are you up to? This is gross indiscipline.
So you are in support of a commoner meting out corporal punishment on a royal prince of Odowura.
Balogun, I'm ashamed of you. You're not worthy of this chalk and pen profession. You should be in the zoo looking after wild animals.
And you are out of your mind to stand in support of Oyemi's actions instead of reprimanding him. I do not blame you. What do you know? An enviable position that should have been held by a proud son of the soil falls into the hands of a usurper. You are lucky, both of you, that this abomination is for my eyes only. Should the council get to hear, you will leave this community.
You're just a literate lunatic. You need some psychiatric examination. Okay?
Sir.
Who's your teacher?
This is my teacher.
Go back to him.
Leave him over my dead body.
Now look, you're just a loser. You don't need to look sorry now.
Okay, go lady with your friends.
The Kabiyesi will hear of this.
Oh. Balogun. Hello, Teacher Balogun. Good afternoon. How are you doing today? What did you just say?
I say if you do not hurry, Olori, the headmaster and Oyemi, they will kill Prince Akin. They have got him kneeling since morning.
My own son? Kneeling down. For what?
Are you going to stay there arguing or you are going to rush down before they kill the prince?
Okay. Give me a second. I'll be with you. Thank you. Hakilapa, hurry up and let's go. What kind of rubbish is this? My own son. Where is the so-called headmaster? Mr. Pam!
Who is that barking like Olori? What is happening?
Olori.
Yeah.
That is the indigene that is acting more like an enemy. A whole prince of Odowura being punished. Come on.
What affront, Mr. Pam? Do you know the son of whom you asked this lousy teacher to punish?
I beg your pardon, Your Highness.
What effrontery, Olori, to barge into a citadel of learning and stir up such a holy-bunny because the teacher did his job?
Anyway, you have to explain that to Kabiyesi and the Council of Elders. This act of insubordination.
Olori, I hope you know the gravity of what you are doing. Assaulting an educator attracts the same punishment as assaulting an officer of the law.
Hey, you opportunist. I told you, your days are numbered in this community. And as for you, the battle line is drawn between us.
Anyway, you will hear from me. Yeah? Rubbish. And you will hear from me too.
Balogun, you need some psychiatric examination.
Now you come on. It's like your friend is in a big club.
Which of my friend?
Mr. Pam, the Oga headmaster. I see Teacher Balogun and Olori Arike with palace guard. They are dragging him along the road.
Dragging him? For what offense, Okwan?
Hey, are you sure the man has not committed a grave offense against Olori Arike? Because the look on her face is no good at all.
Mbeke, what grave offense,
Say, Mr. Pam, now 12 passes on hand.
I have told you to stop saying something unless you are perfectly sure about it. This your big mouth will put you in big trouble one day.
I tell you, say your friend, you want to kill him. Is he a bad thing?
Okay, Mbeke, you sit down and look after the shop. Okay. Let me quickly run and find out what
before they kill him.
You sit down. Look after the shop.
I will. Okay.
Mbeke, because don't say anything to anybody.
Mbeke, I don't tell anybody. It's only you I tell. I didn't tell anybody.
Look after the shop.
I go do it.
I greet you all, my people. I have two matters before us. One is from Iyalode and some market women over their loved shops. And the other is from Olori Arike over the punishment meted out to Prince Akia's school. So I want to hear your opinion.
Thank you, Kabiesi. Let us call a spade a spade. To me, the case of Iyalode is one of pure vendetta. Pure vendetta. Iyalode's shop has been closed because Iyaloja has a personal matter to settle with her. And I think that is malicious and an abuse of power.
You are a very, very biased man.
How?
You should weigh the matter right and left before coming to an objective answer. Look, Iyalode's shop was locked up and closed down. I will have closed it forever. Sure. Yes, it should have been locked up completely. Kabisi, that shop is a nice shop. And it's supposed to be a food shop. I went there personally to assess the place. Even a trained dog will refuse to eat food in that shop. Therefore, Kabisi, the council and Iyaloja deserve to close that shop down before the whole community is wiped away by cholera.
Chief Olu, stop exaggerating and carrying out malicious insinuations against Iyalode.
Leave him. Why won't he support her when they share the proceeds paid by the market people?
Look, Iyalode, do not malign my personality.
And if I do, what will you do?
If you do, what will I do?
Kill over Shefumi.
What will I do?
Kabiesi, see Chief Olu.
Can't you respect the Kabiesi? Enough. Kabiesi is sitting there, you want to fight. Can you see that? On a very simple matter, you are already at each other's throat, as if you are sworn enemies. Iyalode, is it true that your shop is dirty?
It is not only my shop, Kabiyesi. The entire market is dirty.
See?
Kabiyesi. See? Now all the dirty shops belong. Iyalode come dey behave like say na only her shop belong.
It's okay. Look, I am happy that Iyalode acknowledged that the whole market is dirty. Yes. Do you support that we do business in a dirty environment? Huh? Look, you don't just bring accusations and counter-accusations because you are in position. Let us learn how to do the right thing and do the right thing for our community too. Stop fighting those people that are doing the right thing. I am ashamed of you, Chief Lawan. Yes, for supporting evil.
Kabisi, I don't support evil. Yes. I don't support evil.
This is my judgment. Thank you, Kabisi. All the locked shops remain locked until they are properly cleaned. Yes, you.
Yes, you.
Next issue. Get Mr. Palm.
Yes.
Mr. Palm is arraigned before this council for the punishment he gave to Prince Ake at school. I want to hear your opinion.
Kabiyesi, it's a grave offense to insult the royal household. In those days, the man would have been hanged instantly. But as for the headmaster, being a stranger in our land, let's pardon his ignorance. One must be severely dealt with.
No. I don't agree with that. Kabiyesi, not only must he be severely punished, he must be removed immediately. It's a slap on the royal family for a mere commoner to mete out such dehumanizing punishments to a prince.
I don't know why some people will talk before them think.
I am amazed sometimes at the wisdom of our elders. Speak! I'm amazed! You are not objective at all. Not objective in the least. Kabiyesi, at this juncture, I think we should hear first from the headmaster.
Yes. Mr. Palm, you have the floor.
Thank you, Your Highness. Kabiyesi, for carrying out my official duties, I have been assaulted, debased, dehumanized, thingified, maligned. I must confess that I'm shocked to the marrow to be arraigned before this council for discharging my constitutional obligations. When a child commits an offense, we mete out corporal punishments according to our codes of conduct to punish that child. That is the rudiment of our profession.
Now, okay, what if that child is of the royal blood?
No one is above the law. This is the problem with our community. The laws here are made to punish the proletariat and that protects the bourgeoisie. The boy committed an offense, along with 3 other children, and we meted out punishments to them. But Mr. Balogun, for his personal greed, is making a tempest in a teacup.
Mr. Palm, I am very proud of you. You are the best man for the job. And I know that the people of Odowura will forever be grateful to you for a job well. Listen, my people. Nobody is above the law. If the boy committed an offense, he must be punished accordingly. When you spare the rod, you spoil the child. If our ministers, ambassadors, senators, and all government functionaries are punished accordingly for their offenses, our country will have been better than this. Yes. So, Mr. Palm, on behalf of the royal family, I want to apologize, and I want you to forgive us for the treatment given to you.
No problem, Kabiyesi.
As for Olori Arike and Balogun, I know what to do. You will be hearing from me.
Thank you, Kabiyesi.
God bless you.
Chief, good morning, sir. You are here already?
No, now my spirit day, my body day for house. What kind of question is that? Were you not the one that fixed this meeting for 8 a.m.? You are now coming by 10 a.m. and start asking me jam questions.
But Chief, now, I'm sorry. Don't you also go late for meetings sometimes? You know now, African time.
No more African time. And no more pancaking of face during office hours. At the end of the day, we will lose valuable time. We will not make progress. If we want to move this nation forward, we must treat business as business and respect time. Change begins with me.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry. Can we go for the meeting now, Chief?
Better.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
NTA Language. Jama'a masu kallon labaran NTA Hausa barkanmu da warhaka. Ni ne Ekukale lode yin wise kudedeya.
Igbo murum kachano.
Broadcasted in the language you understand better. Our programs transmitting on the Star Times platform 24 hours.
Àwọn onímọ̀ nípa ètò ẹ̀kọ́ lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà.
Hukumar tara kudaden haraji ta ƙasa.
Alani na ọchịchị mba United Arab Emirates UAE.
The only channel that speaks your language.
Anyị ga-eweta akụkọ gbasara ọrịa ahụ nke wakporo obodo anyị.
Kálejì, mo kọ́kùnrin, mo kóbìnrin, mo kí ọmọdé, mo sì kí àgbàlagbà.
Mi kokari mu sauke nauyin alƙawarin da muka dauka.
Ẹ kú lẹ́yìn tèmi, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò wa ètò yín ètò obìnrin tó dángájá.
Waye fi cancanta a ɗauka a matsayin ɗan aikin cikin gida.
Jama'a
masu kallon tashar NTA Hausa, barkamu da warhaka.
Kí ni ayẹyẹ ọdún iléyá tá máa ń ṣe lọ́dọọdún yìí rọ̀ mọ́?
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading.
Dapchi girls reunite with their parents. Dapchi girls reunite with their parents amidst tears and jubilation by parents and members of the community. And the Nigeria police describes as untrue the publications on some social media platforms and conventional media that the last Dapchi girl will be released soon. Plus, a correspondence x-rays the significance at Palm Sunday. These and more on Panorama this Monday. I am Bintu Ali Sumwano. The federal government has reunited the released Dapchi school girls with their parents amidst tears and jubilation by the families and other members of the Dapchi community. The girls who were conveyed to Government Girls Science and Technical College Dapchi, where they were accredited and handed over to their parents, were full of gratitude to God for rejoining their families once again. Hussein Mohammed Isa reports.
The 105 released Dapchi School girls and 2 other non-students of the school arrived Government Girls Science and Technical College Dapchi, where they were abducted at exactly 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They met their elated parents anxiously waiting for them in an emotionally charged atmosphere as they arrived to once again rejoin their parents.
Ina kuka ne
saboda farin cikin ganin mahaifiyata saboda ban yi tunanin zan sake ganin ta ba domin gurin da na je ban yi zaton zan dawo ba.
Member representing Dabci community at the Federal House of Representatives, Gwani Bukar Lawan, officially handed over the girls to the representative of Yobe State government on behalf of the federal government. One after the other, the girls were handed over to their parents by Mala Musti, who represented the state government. Some of the parents who could not hide their joy thanked President Muhammadu Buhari and indeed Nigerians for the safe return of their daughters.
We thank God for that. And we thank every Nigerian for their prayers and for their commitment to see our children back.
Alive to see your girls back home. I'm very, very happy to see my daughters, two of them, in my occupied with me. I'm very, very happy.
The girls who are full of happiness vowed to continue with their formal education, saying they are not discouraged by the unfortunate act of the insurgents. Meanwhile, Yobe State government has broke its silence on the release of Dabci school girls, as the Commissioner of Information, Home Affairs and Culture, Mala Musti, extended the gratitude of government and people of the state to President Muhammadu Buhari for securing the release of the girls.
I'm very, very grateful for his effort. We are 100% behind him, and we will keep on praying for all his good intentions of uplifting the standard of Nigeria in general.
This is how residents of Dabci town are giving a rousy welcome to the release of abducted girls of Dabci. From Dabci town, I am Hussein Mohamed Isa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, NTA News had an exclusive interview with the father of Leah, the remaining Dabci school girl in captivity. He praised President Muhammad Buhari for his concern over the safety of Leah.
Mr. Sharibu Nataan, a 45 years inspector of police serving with Yola Police Command, is the father of Leah, the only girl that remained in captivity among the 110 students of Government Girls Science and Technical College, Dabci, who were abducted on the 19th of February. Leah, a 15 years SS1 student of the school, is yet to regain her freedom despite the agreement of such between the federal government and the abductors. Other parents of Dabci abducted girls have every reason to smile. For Mr. Sharibu's family, it is still a painful moment, having continued to stay without the company of their loved daughter Leah.
Sincerely, since the abduction of our daughter Leah, the family was very, very sad. Yes, we are in a terrible situation.
Before she was abducted, what is her dream like?
Before her abduction of Leah, Leah was a brilliant girl. We hope that she may reach to a stage of even a medical doctor in this.
But with the message by Mr. President, did you feel relief?
I feel relief. I feel relief seriously. When I hear what the Mr. President said about my daughter, I feel relief.
Hussein Mohamed Isa, NTA News.
The federal government has reacted to the alleged revelation by the certain Sergeant David Baku in social media circles, claiming there was a top-level conspiracy that stage-managed the abduction of Dabci school girls on 19 February. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, reacted to the report in Lagos and made more clarifications on the release of the Dabci school girls. Anthony Forson reports.
The Information and Culture Minister, who was the head of the federal government delegation that visited Yobe twice before the girls were released, said the fake news is being peddled by one Sergeant David Baku, who claims to be in the Nigerian army.
David Baku is fake. There is no such soldier in the Nigerian army. There was no conspiracy anywhere. The intention of those behind the disinformation and fake news is to cause disaffection between Christians and Muslims and between Southerners and Northerners.
The minister pointed out that the present administration's success in seeking an early release of the girls has ruffled many feathers and upturned plans by naysayers in their plot to portray the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration in bad light.
They have not been able to sleep since the girls came back. Their campaign to unseat President Muhammadu Buhari is fueling their desperation. Nigerians should prepare to see more avalanche of disinformation and fake news in days to come. But they should also not lend any credibility to such reports. They belong to a trash can.
The minister maintained that the schoolgirls were freed as a result of intense back-channel negotiations that involved friendly countries, international organizations, and trusted facilitators. Giving a breakdown of the released children, the minister said a total of 111 girls were abducted on the 19th of February. By implication, one student was not captured on the list of 110 students that was compiled by the school. Also kidnapped were 2 persons who are not students of the college, which brings the total number to 113. And so far, 107 persons have been released, while 6 deputy schoolgirls are yet unaccounted for. The minister clarified that the negotiations entered into with the insurgents has been on for quite a while, and it is to give room for the cessation of hostilities, saying the present administration is committed in keeping its promise to Nigerians.
We thank all Nigerians for their support and prayers. We are grateful for their belief in the ability of this government to secure an early release of the girls. We will continue with the ongoing efforts to account for the remaining 6 deputy girls and indeed to bring back our remaining Chibok girls.
And to the media, the minister called for restraint and to be more discerning in disseminating materials that serve no other purpose than to sabotage the ongoing efforts to end insurgency. In Lagos, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Still talking security, the Ministry of Defense has described as unfortunate a recent comment by one of the elder statesmen alleging that the military collude with bandits to kill people and therefore call on them to rise and defend themselves outside constitutional provisions. A statement by Public Relations Officer to the Minister of Defense, Colonel Tukur, says this is highly uncalled for and is an invitation to anarchy and should be disregarded by well-meaning Nigerians. It states that the efforts of the Nigerian armed forces towards restoration of peace, security and order in Nigeria are evidently clear, and Nigerians continue to show appreciation for changing the security environment from what it was before. The statement says the Nigerian armed forces are well organized and highly professional in discharging their constitutional mandate. The Nigerian police has described as untrue the publication on some social media platforms and conventional media indicating that the Inspector General of Police said the last Dapchi school girl will be released soon. A statement by the Force Public Relations Officer ACP Jimo Moshood says the IGP was misunderstood and misquoted. It states that this may be as a result of the already released Dapchi school girls expected back from home in Yobe State but could not arrive due to bad weather condition, adding that the IGP could not also proceed to Dapchi because of some weather situation. The force urges members of the public and the media to disregard the purported statement as not what the IGP meant. The statement therefore reiterates that the force has no information yet on the release of the last Dapchi school girl. Moving on, the Director, Army Public Relations Brigadier General Texas Shuku says the attention of force has been drawn to false and misleading reports on the social media by mischief makers alleging that the Dapchi school girls abduction was planned in the villa. The army also reported allegations credited to T.Y. Danjuma. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details of the statement.
In the report on the social media credited to one Sergeant David Baku, alleged that Dapchi school girls' abduction was planned and executed at a cost of 80 million naira. Reacting to the information, the Army spokesperson, Brigadier General Texas Chukwu, explained that the author of the story, one Sergeant David Baku, has not served or deserted the Army as claimed in the report, while stressing that the Army remain non-partisan and a professional institution, advised the public to disregard the baseless claim and desist from sharing such information as it is against the Nigerian Cyber Crime Act 2015. Similarly, the Nigerian Army reacted, a statement credited to the former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Theophilus Yakubu Danjuma, alleging that the armed forces are associated with criminals and unable to secure the people of Taraba State. The Director of Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Texas Chukwu, noted that the Army has always performed its constitutional role of securing the citizen and the nation's territorial integrity. He stressed that the success of the exercise IEM Akbatuma, a military internal security exercise in Taraba State, are visible for all to see. He advised the people of the state to continue to be law-abiding. Ismail Musa, NTA News.
The Nigeria Police Force says it will continue to sustain the tempo of its strategies adopted in fighting crimes in the country to guarantee adequate protection of lives and property. Olajide Bello reports the Force Public Relations Officer ACP Juma Moshood re-echoed this while parading 22 suspected kidnap and armed robbery gang at Sabon-Wuse Division of Niger State.
And throughout the North Central, Niger, Kaduna, Nasarawa, to Benue, Plateau, and the region. And these are the arms of the operation Absolute Sanity, having the Special Tactical Squad as a wing that are carrying out this operation. The
police force says it has commenced immediate raids of unidentified criminal spots, crime flashpoints, and other crime-prone locations nationwide.
Police in charge of commands, state commands and zonal command have the directive of the Inspector General of Police to enter into any premises where we have information or we have unreasonable suspicion that prohibited firearm is being kept. Or they are under the directive of the IGP to enter into such premises, cordon of raid, and ensure that those firearms are recovered and those who are in possession of them are promptly arrested. And
while appreciating the support from members of the public, the police says it will continue to rely on credible information in combating crime. You're watching the Panorama on NTA. The news returns shortly.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Welcome back. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation says it takes about 4 different price points for petroleum products to get to the point of selling. The Chief Financial Officer, NNPC Ishaq Abdul Razak, who appeared before the Senate Committee on Public Accounts, said that Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency PPPRA has a cost element fixed. National Assembly correspondent Ifeanyi Ezumba reports.
The Chief Financial Officer NNPC also said the challenge NNPC have is that the whole template PPPRA did in May 2016 was based on 2 variables that they cannot control.
The exchange rate as well as the flat price. All the marketers, all the oil companies in Nigeria will be interested. None of them imported products in 2017. And that's because they cannot land it below the price of 110 you have there.
Federation
Yes, sir.
But the point you are making now, you have not been making profit. That is why you are not remitting.
We want you to agree that yes, you have incurred losses. And these are the losses, even though you have not bothered to be reimbursed as subsidy, but that you have accepted as bad loss or bad debt.
The investigative hearing continues. From the National Assembly, Ifeanyi Ezumba, NT News.
Now, still is the strength of industrialization, and Nigeria, since independence, is preparing to embark on this journey of industrialization. But what is the position of the steel industry in Nigeria, considering the fact that it remains the passport to industrialization? Let's join May Okide.
Anything also that could encourage the dumping of finished goods in Nigeria was going to be contrary to our interests.
This is an affirmation of the federal government's commitment to industrialize the nation instead of import dependent. But the desire, for instance, to have made in Nigeria ship, vehicle and other materials for infrastructural development is where Nigeria meets a brick wall.
You can't be a shipbuilder if you don't have a viable steel plant. You can't manufacture vehicles. You can't build an aeroplane. There are too many things you cannot do. Your infrastructure cannot even be complete if you have to import everything, even small steel plates, iron rods, everything.
We have the raw materials is not the issue. It's there and the quality is okay. If I get any rock that gives me 25% Fe2O3, I'm good to go. Even 20%, it's okay. But here in Nigeria, we are even having about 32, 33, 45, even 50% that can be upgraded, beneficiated to 60, 70, that can feed Ajaokuta, can feed all the other steel companies.
With these free gifts of nature and the existence of some signature projects by past leaders in Nigeria, such as the Ajaokuta Steel Company, the Delta Steel, Osogbo and Katsina Steel Rolling Mills, and the Etakwe Iron Ore, among others, should have placed Nigeria on the pedestal of self-sufficiency in steel production to drive the industrialization process, as the steel demand of the country stands at 10 million metric tons per annum. Nigeria imports 7.1 million metric tons of steel every year, valued at $3.3 billion, as only 2.2 million metric tons of steel is produced by the 18 out of the 30 private steel manufacturers in Nigeria.
The private sector players in that sector, they're beginning to make a difference. We now export steel products to as further afield as Morocco, as Japan. but we still import steel products into the country. And our overarching objective is to reduce the amount of steel products that we bring into Nigeria so that we can grow our local industry, we can grow manufacturing, and industrialization can thrive.
It is a major sector waiting for revival. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
Now, in keeping the physical and mental alertness of its personnel, the Nigerian Navy has held its 2018.
You may be wondering, those of us in Abuja, are we in the operation theater? But we can be moved out anytime.
Now, sports, Umar Abba and Shamma Tanzi earned 3 points for Wiki Tourist in NPFL Week 14 as Roger Federer crashes out early at Miami Open. Amanzi Marcus reports.
Karim Almani from Egypt defeated his compatriot Ahmed Hussein 3-0 to win the male category, while Sama Yusuf, also from Egypt, overpowered another Egyptian's Maina Nasser 3-2 in the female final that was described as one of the toughest matches of the tournament, which recorded a lot of upsets.
The two top players of this tournament have been beaten.
It's been challenging, but I thank God that it has turned out well.
We've learned that there's a lot to do in terms of getting our players prepared for tournaments at this level.
After a 1-0 win against Poland, some ex-Super Eagles players have joined other Nigerians to commend the Super Eagles for their impressive outing, despite the fact that the Polish team is ranked among the top 10 in the world.
My theory tells me that we have exceptional players who do the magic in Russia.
Has given us a light into how prepared we are. We should give kudos to the team, because what really matters is getting a win and perform 100% the way they did.
Meanwhile, from Ado Ekiti, Ayodeji Ogunshakin reports that Ekiti Queens Football Club have emerged winners of the 2018 Ekiti Football Tournament, beating Udosi Queens 4-0. Participants appeal to stakeholders to encourage female players who could do the nation proud.
We want the governor and their leaders to sponsor us.
The government should support us by giving us some money.
We need to encourage them by giving out our coaches and to introduce the technicality.
In another development, the Nigerian Muay Federation, having met all the international requirements, has been inaugurated by the Nigeria Olympic Committee to function as a sports federation in Nigeria.
Muay will affect Nigerian youth positively. It will create jobs that will bring more laurels to the country.
Board members of the federation, led by its president, Samuel Nweke, took their oath of office with a pledge to use the sport for positive impact in the country. With sports updates.
And that's it on Panorama. Good afternoon.
Is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the U-Report link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information.
Nigeria's solid minerals sector make up about 0.34% of the gross domestic product, GDP. That means the mining sector contributes 400 billion naira, lead, zinc, tin and coal, but to mention a few. Mining is not new to Nigeria. As a nation, mining of our resources started as far back as 1902 in key mining towns like Jos and Enugu. But just recently, policy reforms have brought back the solid mineral sector to the fore, a way of diverting the economy from oil to mineral resources.
The resources are there, they've not disappeared. but we have been blinded by the opportunities provided by oil. However, we're now clear in our minds that the oil rains would not last forever. Important as they are to us, we need to really move in the direction of developing other resources that we are endowed with in our country. And there are many.
As far back as mineral deposits are concerned, Kogi State and next-door neighbor Nasarawa State are the most well-endowed across the entire country. Kogi alone has deposits of a total of 29 mineral resources. However, the level of exploitation of these minerals is very low in relation to the extent of the new national policy on solid minerals. The policy is to ensure the orderly development of the mineral resources of the country. The question beckons, what is the Ministry of Solid Minerals doing in terms of harnessing these mineral deposits for economic growth?
Imagine a station where you access information. Think of a station that creates awareness for national development. Imagine a station that prepares you for a bright and greater future. A station for all ages. Documentaries, classroom and television, events coverage, children's programs and variety shows. Always stay tuned to NTA Knowledge on the StarTimes platform. Channel 359. For partnership, sponsorship and advert placements, contact us on NTA Knowledge. NTA Knowledge, learning to broaden horizon.
Hello and welcome to a brand new edition of Visual Impressions. I am Omar Mohammed and I'm going to be with you on this program today. Now this week we are going to look at motifs, but not on clothes to be worn, but on canvas. This particular artist, Ademola Adeshina, is an academically trained textile artist, but he has mastered the arts of textiles and has even transferred those motifs and patterns onto canvas. Take a look.
Writing to understanding. And our literacy does not just involve reading and writing and understanding and interpreting. It also goes, especially in this time of technology, your ability to use the recent or most current technologies in understanding, in interpreting, in communicating, like the internet facility, the ATM, the laptops, everything, every other thing. So you can have the ability to read and write, to do calculations, arithmetics, but you do not understand how to use the internet facility, the latest devices, you're still illiterate in some aspects. So it goes beyond the conventional reading and writing. If you look at the UNESCO interpretation, it goes beyond that. We are now in the, it does, and then it's a continuum learning. That's why I am impressed by the SDGs, because if you look at SDG 4 or 5, it talks about continuous learning. So it's not just because I've gone to school, I have the first degree, I have a master's, I have a PhD, that stops. No. Literacy is updating and upgrading yourself on a daily basis. What is happening in whatever field. And I want to say that I always tell my children, know a little about everything, but at least master one or two. Okay. So you must be literate in that field, which is your field of calling, but at least also be literate a little about every other thing that is happening around you as human being, about the environment, about the climate, about everything. So this is all, literacy is all encompassing.
Okay, but you talked about your children and making sure, being master of a few things, one or two things, and then how do you encourage them to know about every other thing, by TV, books? I'm just asking about your own personal, what works for you, or what works for you and your children.
Well, I do a lot of things. Again, it's not just about me, it's about the children, because I won't want to impose my own learning style on them. Yeah. So you have to know what works for them too. You don't have to just say, okay, because I do a lot of reading, I'm a writer, so I can't force it on my children. I have to also understand what they love doing. My daughter, my eldest daughter, loves to read. She reads a lot. She reads virtually every novel she can find. I remember the other day, the father was like, this novel, isn't it too big for her? 300 pages. What did she? I said, it's good. In those good old days while we're growing, you read a lot of books. And mind you, by reading alone, it exposes you. It broadens your knowledge. You know, but these days, because we are so carried away with the Facebook thing, with the likes and the dislikes and all of these things, we are not reading. People are reading actually, but we're not reading the right things. So that is why our ability of understanding is still shallow or limited. But reading books is great. So that's one way, reading, and not just reading, allow the children, give them book, come and read. No, once in a while, sit with them, please read. What have you read? What is the storyline? What is the storyline? What do you understand what you're reading? What are the lessons you've picked from it? And I also encourage my children to write their own stories after reading maybe something. Write your own story. Okay. In fact, I do that a lot. I also I have a lot of painting stuffs. Write your story, draw your own, do whatever you need to do to improve yourself. So if it means you watching television, I'm also very careful as a parent. What kind of thing are you watching on television? So that, or if you're using the devices, my children have a tablet, but I always occasionally check what they're reading or what they're looking at there, so that you don't just get too carried away, believing that, okay, because I do a lot of other works with people outside, that doesn't mean that my home is safe. I have to check, I have to follow through with them. And then, like, my last daughter always has this funny way of saying, Mommy, please come and read with me. And sometimes I say, no, I don't want to read, go and read on your own. But once in a while, even I'm tired, I try to force myself. If I don't want to read with her on her bed, I say, okay, let's read before you go to bed. Okay. You know, sometimes it happens, but these are the things I try to do to encourage my children to read, because again, reading is important. Reading, this is self-education. You will learn, you will know a lot of things by just mere reading, even if it is a novel, newspaper, whatever. You will see that you will be able to stand out, because you suddenly become knowledgeable about a lot of things. So self-education, I think, is best, or self-literacy is best. We can't wait on the government to do everything for us, like we always want to put the blame on the government.
Sorry to cut you. I want to know, when you say literacy, and as she was talking, I was thinking about intelligence. Is there a thin line, or is it the same thing, or just English difference?
No.
It's the same thing.
No. Literacy is completely
literacy is different from intelligence. So when you say you're an illiterate and you say you're not intelligent, those are two different things. I need to know, what is the difference? What's the difference?
Again, literacy, like I said, is a process of learning. Intelligence is something you have. I think it's you're born with it. You're born intelligent, or you're not intelligent. You're born with it. You understand?
Okay. So what about brilliance?
Yeah, now you can talk about
these are terms are
brilliance and intelligence. These are the things you can compare. You can talk together on that line.
If
you can talk on that line together.
You're likely to be brilliant.
No, I think there's. I'm trying to understand the line where you describe somebody as being literate, being intelligent, or being brilliant. Because without using the dictionary, I've always thought that being intelligent is like being vast. Talk about technology, you are there. Talk about books, you are there. Talk about hair, you are there. Talk about fashion. But then being brilliant is like, basically, if you are reading maths, all you know about is maths. The sums, everything on